Hello and welcome to the Metalheads podcast. My name is George.
This is Buke.
This is Jay.
And this is John.
And we're joined today by Trevor from Ashen Horde. How you doing, Trevor?
I'm good. What's up?
Not much. Just another wonderful day in the metal world.
Aren't they all?
Yes, they are. So Trevor's joining us again. If you listen to any of our past episodes, you may have encountered him before. And Ashen Horde, there's been some changes. We're going to ask you about that in a minute. And in a couple days here, you're going to be releasing a new single. Today's Sunday the 12th, so Tuesday the 14th, which will be in the past by the time you actually hear this. Why don't you tell us about the changes in the band?
Yeah,
first of all.
So since last I spoke to you guys a little over a year ago, a lot of changes. There's actually more than just me in the band now. I've added Stevie Boiser from a variety of bands. He was in Veil of Noth, toured with them, Dissonance and Design, Equipoise, Tethys, and he was a friend of my brother's who's a drummer, and I had to have vocal surgery right after I talked to you guys last year for really horrible ulcerated vocal nodes.
We destroyed you.
Thus ending my harsh vocal career. So it kind of pushed me in. But honestly, having heard what Stevie can do compared to me, it was a good change, and I think it'll really push the band forward well.
Now,
yeah, actually, George, let's don't float over that. I like George's notion there. What do you think it's the podcast that pushed those vocals over the edge?
Definitely. It was everything was fine until that day, and then they just hemorrhaged during the call.
Yeah, we're hard on people.
So was it because of the vocals you were doing, or was it just, coincidental?
No, I think it was, years of vocal abuse.
Okay.
Because I've been doing it for longer than anyone's cared to know. Probably, well, no one actually knew because no one gave a shit about any of my old bands, but I've been doing it for a long time and it took its toll.
Yeah. Would it be possible that had you used a different technique that you might, like I've heard people say that you have to, if you don't do harsh vocals correctly, that you could, hurt yourself and could you have possibly done things differently and it would have turned out differently?
Yes, I imagine that would have made a big difference. After the surgery, I had to go through a couple months of vocal coaching and learned all sorts of things. Had I done that probably 10 years ago, it might have been a different story. But
let me ask you this: is vocal coaching a lot of stuff like this? Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. How does vocal coaching go?
It's not that far from that. Yeah, it was a lot of sitting there reading bizarre sentences and her critiquing the way I pronounced every single word and the way I breathed and all sorts of things. It makes
Human Torch was denied a bank loan. The Human Torch. That's from the Anchorman movie. He's getting ready. The Human Torch was denied a bank loan.
Yes, and you have to sit there in front of a doctor as she holds your chest to critique your breathing and say things like that. Right. It is bizarre.
You know what's funny though? Over here on my side, no vocal lessons.
None.
No, none.
Hey, can I just make a comment? I hope this isn't mean. I hope this doesn't make anyone mad, but you totally remind me of Seth Rogen the way you talk. And that's not a
My
critique.
wife says the same thing.
I hadn't noticed that until just today.
Do you know when I go to work, people look at me. They're like, "Anybody told you look like that funny man?"
That helps.
Of course.
And I kind of know where they're going with it now. So, yes, I take that as a compliment. So, thank you. You know who I also hear sometimes too? Woody Harrelson. Which
I can kind of see it now that you say it.
Look,
Chunky Woody.
Chunky Woody.
So, maybe you could be in his new what's that new movie he's making? It's about Woody's Woody.
Oh yeah, that's a Night in London or something.
Right.
That thing. It's just like a live movie. It's like
about his
place in real time,
going on adventures or something.
Trevor,
it's Alice in Wonderland too.
I want to give a little look into your destroying your vocals. This was when we met with the pod. You and I, and George, we all started a friendship from it, and this was right around a time. Is this what led you to have to kind of change the band or realize that you just have to hang it up?
Yeah, that was really what pushed me. It was basically the doctor said, they basically said they went in and did the surgery. There was, of course, a chance that I was not going to have even the similar voice when I came out of it. There are a lot of risks with getting your vocal cords sliced. And so you never know. So when I came out of that relatively unscathed, I figured I'd rather hang it up than risk going through that all again.
Yeah, you don't want to have Angus Young kick you out of the band.
Nah. Well, Paul Stanley had vocal surgery a while back, and he hasn't sounded good since, man.
Oh, man. He sounds awful.
He does, and he was one of my great favorite rock singers of all time in the last 4 or 5 years. Not so great.
And I think it's sad that he doesn't seem to want to acknowledge it. Like, I get it. Yep, if he's destroyed his voice, he's almost 70, that's fine. But he won't say it. Like, look, I can't sing like I used to, but I want to play, so I'm just going to keep going.
I agree, too. Actually, I agree, too, especially since he seems like kind of a stand-up guy. I just, you lost a step, buddy. It's okay,
Exactly. Throw in the wig and just go for it.
I have to imagine you kind of sympathize with a lot of these guys in metal now that have made the transition from harsh vocals to clean vocals.
Catatonia.
Especially with the fan bases just pitching shit fits over it. Catatonia, Opeth, Mastodon, there's so many bands.
Yeah, but to be fair, Trevor hasn't transitioned away from the harsh vocals.
That's because you guys haven't heard the third album, which is going to either lose or gain a lot of fans.
Oh, no, I guess...
Is there some clean singing on it? Sorry.
I guess my point was, I guess you have to sympathize with guys that say, hey, I just can't do this anymore. I mean, it's just crazy. Yeah. I'm in my 40s and I'm killing myself.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I respect that. Yeah, and I know the whole clean vocal thing. It's a little bit weird, though. It really seems to separate people of it's cool or it is the ultimate blasphemy of metal, and I don't really get that.
No, it seems silly. If you can't do it anymore and you still want to play and you have to make a change, you make a change. I mean, it's just what it is.
Mm-hmm. Though we could probably spend multiple hours discussing actual stylistic changes. I'd say, at least for Ashen Horde, where we're going, and some other bands, it's like still in the realm of what we've done before versus Opeth. I know people are going to have issues on that, but they are not the same band anymore.
No.
In any form.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is neither here nor there. I mean,
it's totally cool. I love Sorceress and all that stuff, but
they're different and they changed. Yeah. Without question.
But no, the new Ashen Horde album will, I don't know. Hopefully it's supposed to be, we're working to get it out this fall, and there will be some clean vocals, and we'll see what happens. If people fucking hate it, like, who's the band that's really been pissing everyone off lately? Like, people are going nuts because they have clean vocals.
Suicide
Silence.
Yeah,
whom I'm not even really familiar with, but I've seen it on the newswires. Like,
I hope
we don't get that reaction, but we'll see what happens.
So, who's doing the clean vocals? Is it you or Stevie?
That would be me. That's the one thing I can do now that I've gone through vocal training, and I have sung in the past. So we're gonna give it a shot. Take a little bit of a Devin Townsend eyes on type thing and see what happens.
Well, see, that's totally the Catatonia. Jonas, what's his name? He couldn't do the harsh vocals anymore, and so he went clean. And now you've got this completely different Catatonia, but people still dig it.
Right. So we're going for the mix instead. So it's still going to be predominantly the harsh vocals with Stevie, and then me doing things here and there. That's
awesome. I like a mix. Cool. So
you know what though, really quick, I think a lot the hard part with clean vocals when it hasn't been done is somebody who doesn't sing. On Lamb of God's new album, Randy does clean vocals, and I was at the first live show where they sang the song with the clean vocals. I'm drawing a blank on the name, but from what I've heard in interviews from Randy, the point that he makes the hardest thing for it is just that step off the ledge where it's like, you know what, I have done it. I've put this track down. I've sung it before. It sounds good. It's just that, hey, I'm just going to do it. And just have confidence that this is what you want to do. And you're just going to do it. And if the fans like you, they're going to support you. And of course, some of them aren't going to like it, but it's just that initial step into it.
Yeah.
Yep. No, that's been the fear. And honestly, I've been thinking, I'm going to have Stevie record everything, even the clean parts, just in case. And if I back out at the last minute, I'll just strip them off. And
wow, I like that. That's a reserve. That's interesting. So the new Ashen Horde record is still in a very malleable state. It sounds like.
Yeah, either that or
all the guitars, bass, everything's done, and about half the clean vocals. And now Stevie's working on his stuff. So
it's either that or there's going to be like a reissue next year, the definitive edition of the new album with both
double disc tour edition.
And we're not dicks. We're going to give you both the original version and the new version
for twice the price. But we'll see. Exactly. Once the first single off it comes out, if it just tanks and everyone's like, "What the hell is this?" We'll still have time to fix it.
It's like what Iced Earth did when I can't remember if it was somebody when Ripper came in. Did they re-record some stuff or it was vice versa? I can't remember. Okay, never mind. I can't remember. They did like 3 songs.
I think it was, didn't they re-recorded stuff when Matt Barlow first came in, didn't they?
Yeah, did he put it down? He re-recorded some of the stuff from that first
couple albums, I think.
Formation of Dim. No. There's this thing. When one of them joined, they went back and changed a bunch of stuff, and it was okay. I'll look it up as you were.
Yeah. So the single is called "The Alchemist," and unlike in this digital age, people hear a single, they're thinking one song. This is like in the ye olden times when singles were backed with another song. So you have 2 songs.
We do, yeah. This is not like a big top 40 pop Rihanna hit single kind of thing. This is a old school 7-inch, 2 songs that kind of go together. A little bit different from typical Ashen Horde style. They're a little more almost black and roll driven. Just something I wanted to do a little different, try something else. And it was perfect as the single, perfect excuse, and hopefully people will dig it.
Trevor, that is a perfect description. That black and roll, perfect. And I'm telling you, it to somebody who's followed your stuff before, it's so different that it gets your attention right away when you hear it. You're like, man, this is good.
Thank you.
It's different. It's really cool.
Well, the biggest difference for me... I
kind of indulged in my sorry, go ahead.
Let's just say that the biggest difference I noticed was obviously the vocals, that Stevie goes much higher than you did. That he's
got a killer range that I could never even attempt to achieve without busting a nut or something.
Yeah. But, I like both styles. So, but that was something I noticed. And so the 2 songs, the first one is Arisen and the second one is Fallen. So first you build the listener up, then you knock them down.
Exactly. This is what will happen when we'll build them up with the single and then knock them down with the clean vocals on the album.
All right.
But it's just kind of a fun little 2-part story based on an alchemy lab, like dungeon I toured in Prague about a year ago and decided to write something around that. So cool.
So Stevie's not the only person that's new this time around. Your brother's drumming too. Yeah,
my brother Jeremy, he's been around the scene forever. He's played in a bazillion bands. He's done shows with the Legion, filling in for them. Godmar Trident, Throll Cult back in the day, Cerberus. He's played in like so many things on so many albums, some that he probably went uncredited too. But yeah, so we've been wanting to do stuff together for years. It's just been difficult, but technology has finally allowed it because he does not live near me. So this was kind of our opening gambit of working together and see what goes, where we go from here.
Sweet.
Hey, Trevor, going back to your back catalog for a second. When we first met you, 9 Plagues had just come out.
Yep.
Over the summer last year, you did a successful Kickstarter campaign for that album on vinyl. You wanted to share with us your experience of doing a Kickstarter campaign, and would you ever do one again, or too much of a headache?
Yeah, I do it again, but this time I'm aiming for at least 150,000 like Winter Sun, because clearly I really set the bar too low for myself.
You need a sauna, apparently.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's kind of crazy. You only need 3,000 fans that are willing to pay $50 to get 150 grand.
Yeah, right. If I had 3,000 fans, I'd be losing my mind. Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But it was a cool experience. I had wanted to put 9 Plagues on vinyl, but it was kind of pricey, so I figured, let's just give it a shot, see what happens, try the Kickstarter thing. It was interesting going in. I was very sure that it could possibly fail, so I wasn't going to be too upset about it if it did. But a couple weeks in, when I saw that the numbers were getting pretty close and realized it was actually going to make it, it was pretty exciting, and it was very nice to have people support the band like that, and exciting to get 9 Plagues out on double LP. It would actually help if I would write shorter songs, so the vinyl would cost half as much, but the next album's not going to help that at all. Yeah,
I was watching it very closely throughout the life cycle of that Kickstarter, and I was like, all right, it's going. Oh shit, it's stalling.
Yeah, it kind of stalled for a bit. Right?
I got real worried, and then in the 11th hour it came through, so that was great.
You had a few calls of hey, you said you were going to do this. You want to do this real quick before it ends, and it paid off.
Hey, Trevor, for those who don't know Stevie's background as well as I do, he comes from a pretty heavy tech death background. We know from you and your history, you're into some pretty evil black metal, two opposite worlds. This is DC and Marvel opposite here.
Yeah.
How was it when you two actually got together to write? Was there any hurdles you guys had to overcome coming from two different genre backgrounds?
Not really. I guess it was probably weirder for Stevie because, I write all the music in Ashen Horde and historically the lyrics, and I've been handing them off to him to take over lyrics for a lot of the album stuff. But I think it was weirdest for him because he's used to that scene. That's all he's done is tech death. I know that's what he really likes. And so, if anything, I feel very intimidated presenting him with guitar tracks that are like, you can like digest them in one listen and actually understand what's going on versus just like, holy shit, that's a lot of notes. So
you actually hear audible. Oh,
yeah. Right. They're actually chords and like things ring out and repetition and stuff. So, and that's not a diss on tech death. Honestly, I do not have the skills or patience to try to get up to that level. I totally respect what those guys do. This is just different. But so I was a little afraid that he might not be as into it, but I think he's enjoyed doing something very different. And with like George mentioned, the higher vocals, he's not really done. So he's been kind of pushing himself into some new places, and I think it's working.
Let me ask you this. Did you find yourself saying this to him very often? I feel like we're just not using the word Satan enough. Are you hearing it enough? I mean, is it just me?
It has not come up. But
okay, you never know.
So to be fair, we're not really those guys either.
No, I know, but it still felt
fun. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, sir.
But yeah, my severed cowhead, go-head days are, I think, long behind me now.
Yes.
I'm originally from San Francisco, born and raised there. I'm not sure if you're originally from LA or not, but okay. But I'm assuming you've been there for a while?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Like 6.5 years.
Okay. So, when I was growing up in the Bay Area, and Jay lives out there now, but we all know the history of metal in the Bay Area,
yep.
With the thrash years and everything. And growing up, being the oldest guy here, I remember, the Hollywood days, every day. I'm sure we all remember those bands. What is the metal scene like in LA right now? I mean, because LA's got so much, it's so big. There's so many things going on there.
Is there a metal scene?
There is, and it's completely overwhelming. And I have to say, I'm almost like totally out of touch with it, to be honest.
Oh, there you go.
It's just, it's hard because I spend so much time like in life, and then all my free time is spent working on music, my own. So, I mean, I do go to shows and stuff, but to be honest, like the local scene, I don't really know. When I moved to LA, I kind of geeked out for the first couple of years, just seeing bands I like, early Hollywood bands, going to see Love Hate and Little Caesar and all these weird ass old 80s bands on the Strip at the Whiskey, living the dream that I had when I was like 10 of seeing these bands. So that was kind of my, the most Hollywood metal thing I've done. But yeah, I have to be honest, I've just have not been as into it as I probably should be. I might have a much bigger network if I get out there and meet people, but
yeah, I mean, cause I've been out there enough. I've seen a lot of shows out there. I've got friends out there. I'm just curious because it just seems like in a place like that, or say New York, you've got so many bigger things, so many bigger bands that you don't sometimes know what the metal scene might be like on the lower end, on the underground side. So,
but no, that's exactly what happens to me. I go to the big shows, and unless there's like a local band opening, that's I don't really get much exposure.
Now you said that the most metal thing you'd done was go to a show at the Whiskey. Come on, you have.
Well, not the most metal thing I've done. The most 80s metal thing I've done.
Yeah, but I'm going to say, come on, you had to have gotten hammered at the Rainbow right down the street.
Well, I wish I had like cool stories for you about that, but I really don't. I'm kind of.
Well, I actually have. So I mean, that's why.
Good. Well, there,
John, he doesn't have time to go into metal shows. He's hanging out with Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis.
That's
and
right.
Grocery shopping.
Out-in shirts at the grocery store and getting caught. Yeah, that's what happens. That was
weird. Trevor, I don't know if you heard that episode, but for those who don't know, a paparazzi picture was taken of whoever that guy's name is.
Ashton and Mila.
Picture. And Trevor was in the background, and George said, no. They're taking pictures of Trevor.
Yeah, right.
and they photobombed
him.
Foreground.
Yeah. They're trying to get those elusive Ashen Horde pictures.
Yeah, exactly.
Ashen, not Ashton. That's your T-shirt. Ashen, not Ashton.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I should have been supporting some. But yeah, there's nothing more brutal than like me pushing a grocery cart either. I sent the picture to the band and to their label, and they thought it was pretty hilarious.
Hey, so, Trevor, the last time we had you on, I was blown away by your staunch resistance to embracing 2016 technology for music. Fast forward almost a year. Have you embraced digital and Spotify and downloads a little more now, or are you still buying all the CDs?
Yeah, it's well, no one can see it, but by the wall behind me, I am still hardcore buying everything on hard copy unless there's no other way to get it. I will track down the 90s Korean pressing for that bonus track. I will not go seek it on some torrent site. Fuck that shit. I respect everyone that likes it. Thus, the new Ashen Horde single will be available at all digital locations. So if you're into that, please pick it up that way.
Because there's a couple of times I've talked to Trevor and I'm like, man, you got to check out this. Oh,
that's right. You're a hillbilly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Trevor, I try to get everything in hard copy too. It's just
me too.
It's from being a kid. You always wanted to have everything you could possibly get your hands on.
You want to touch it. You want to look at the
and when the cloud finally falls apart, I'm just going to be like, well, I've got my library.
Get you like a missile silo somewhere after the bombs. Let's go to Trevor's, man. He's got the tunes.
And God forbid if something ever does happen to Trevor, his wife can be like, at least I got all these CDs to remember him by.
Or sell and live on.
Or to finance her future.
Yeah, trust me. That's the insurance policy.
But I will say, the first thing I do when I buy stuff is, boom, it goes right into iTunes on the iPhone, so I can listen to it when I'm out and about. And, I get the temptation of using Amazon on my TV to pull up music because it's quicker than digging through stuff. But I'm still old school. So with the new Ashen Horde, I see you have a new logo. Was that a something you wanted to change up, or did you feel that bringing in Stevie, you had to kind of do a little change with it also to represent the new second life in the band? That was actually totally coincidental. I had thought about it for a while. There were a couple reviewers that gave my album a great review and just ripped apart the logo, which is brutal because an old friend of mine did it. Yeah, but at the same time, I was like, well, whatever, I dig it. But a friend of mine had said she had this idea for a logo and asked if she, if she drew something up, would I be interested in seeing? I was like, yeah, absolutely. When she presented it to me, I was just like, oh, done. That's it. That's the new one. It's perfect. Timing was great. So it kind of represents Ashen Horde Mark II. Yeah, phase 2. Cool. Yeah. Okay, well, Mark III, by the way, is when we bring in David Coverdale, in case you're wondering. To take over the cleans. Nice. So, Trevor, no. Glenn Hughes is your cleans. Right. And Coverdale's got the harsh a little bit. So, Trevor, we sit here early March right now. How can we see the rest of the next couple months playing out for the band? When do you see things being finalized? Right. So the single's out on Tuesday, March 14th. So we'll promote that a bit. We've got a lyric video and some other stuff to go with that too. So I'll be in promo mode for a while. And then we're just powering through, trying to get through the record. Stevie's got all the tracks. He's starting to work on a few of those. Ideally, I'd like to put out maybe another 7-inch if we can sell enough of this one, of the lead single plus an unreleased B-side, again, a throwback to the olden days. And then we're aiming for probably fall release for the full length. Cool. That's it. So, yeah. That's sweet. And still, if you're just hearing the podcast for the first time or you're just hearing Ashen Horde for the first time, you can go on the Ashen Horde Bandcamp, and there's an amazing deal. You can get the full discography of every Ashen Horde for $5.99. Really? 25% deal, right? What a fucking deal! Right. Hell. And I don't know what to say. Buy it. You know what? Awesome. That's so much of a fucking deal. I have these, but I'm buying it right now. So go ahead. Go ahead with your stuff. Finally, I'll get to eat this month. Thank you. That's a George level ass kissing right there. Yeah, well done, sir. I'm proud of you. I think it's a bummer that people don't pay for music. Just generally speaking, I don't want to get off on too much of a tangent there, but no, go for it. Just not being willing to and expecting everything to be handed to them and everything being very entitled. But at the same time, it's I'm not making a living off of this. I'd rather it get into people's hands that want it. So it's like, I think $5 for like, what does that make, 30 songs or something is a really good deal.
Yeah, you're not asking for much there. So I think somebody can pony up for you.
Yeah.
You guys just saw the money rain down on Trevor. That was my purchase going through. So
I every day I wad $5 up, just throw it in the street, just to do it. That's how little money $5 is.
That's right. Exactly. It means nothing. Absolutely nothing. Except it means a lot to me if you buy my shit. It means
because if you get a bunch of them, it's more than $5. Exactly. Come on, people.
That goes right back into the next 7-inch that then you're not going to want to pay for and you'll download anyway. But that's okay.
Or the sauna fund.
Yeah, or the sauna. Yeah, so I can finally have my sauna.
And you need saunas in California.
Yeah, that is crazy, that Winter Sun thing. Is that who was Winter Sun?
Yeah.
Winter Sun, yeah.
That's the kind of money.
I'm a big fan, but I was mind blown that they went out with 150,000 goal and then hit it in like a day. It was crazy.
That's the kind of money that when like you're eating pistachios and you get one of those pistachios that you can't quite open, you just throw those fuckers away, dude. That's Winter Sun money.
Well, and that's only the first of 3 stages of their Kickstarter. They want 2 more of equal value.
Right. The only thing that kind of pisses me off about it in a way is the fact that they are still signed to Nuclear Blast. And I get that's been kind of the impetus for a lot of this is they wanted more money to record. But it's like, dude, sign me up to Nuclear Blast and I will fund this thing myself. And I will not hit anyone up for money. I don't know. It just seemed a little greedy for that. But whatever. They're super talented. I've loved the last couple of records. So it's like.
Yeah.
Those are good comments, though. To be honest with you, I don't follow them. I didn't realize there was some Nuclear Blast. That does kind of put a weird edge on the whole thing.
Well, they better hope their new album doesn't suck.
They better hope their new album doesn't suck, yeah.
Right. Well, riding on this one.
Now that there's 3 of you in the band, is there any chance that you might pull together some shows at some point?
The ultimate question. I know Stevie wants to, and it's been on my mind lately, thinking about it. Honestly, something that makes it much easier for me is I wouldn't have to sing and play at the same time, which is fantastic because that's not something I've really been concerned about in the last couple of years. But yeah, it could happen. We'll see. I mean, the problem is we are all spread across the U.S. and we would still need additional band members to fill
that's
in.
True.
So,
let's just put it, every band member you add, you're getting a little closer to an actual horde. So
that is true. Yes, the name will no longer be a misnomer.
What part of the country is Stevie in? Is he your area? Or
he's in Colorado.
Colorado. Okay, so yeah,
Colorado, the home of metal these days.
It is. It really is. So, but I mean, honestly, my ideal state would be to like play a handful of festival shows or something. I know we're not like at that level, but just do some shows, kind of do something special the way Izon does, and then kind of crawl back into my hole after that.
Right on.
With Ashen.
Any other questions?
I just have to say, can I tell you, I turned Trevor on to Opeth, and it was probably one of the greatest achievements of my life. That's all I have to say.
What rock were you under that you weren't like already into Opeth?
I don't know. I was aware of them, but for whatever reason, I just never listened to anything they did not care. And I was like, it was about a year ago. And I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm going to buy, I think Orchid was the first thing I bought. And then Blackwater Park, and kind of went from there. I was like, well, there was a lot of wasted years of my life not listening to this.
No. Now you get to go through it all fresh. I mean, I pick out cultural things every once in a while, just don't take part. And you're like, Sopranos, never seen an episode. Not one. So, I mean, it can happen. You can miss shit, dude. That's just the way it goes.
That actually
there's a nice side effect, which is if you get into a band way later, then you've got like this huge back catalog to just jump into. And I kind of like that. It's like I don't have to wait for the next thing. It's like, here's the next 20 albums.
Yeah, that's cool.
Heaven. I love it when that happens.
That reminds me of a conversation I had with Trevor recently about a band that he was just really kind of diving into for the first time. And that's even more surprising than Opeth.
Man, this is like...
After last episode, if this is Lady Gaga, I'm leaving this pod for good.
No,
I've been into her since like day one, so don't worry about that.
Yeah. No, this is a little British band. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're called Judas Priest.
Oh.
Yes.
Is it okay to talk about that?
So I've been certainly well aware of Judas Priest. I've known a ton of their shit, but I've never owned anything. And I was like, okay, it's time. But honestly, I picked up British Steel, Hellbent, and something else, and was like, I just don't get it. It doesn't do anything for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
In the 80s, you were either a Maiden guy or Priest guy in my mind, and I was a Maiden guy. So Priest was on my periphery. I listened to him, but, it was just...
Okay, George, can we start Trevor down his next path?
Oh, what's next?
Master of Puppets. No.
I have Master of Puppets. Battery is like the single Metallica song I can ever say I really care about. I'm not a Metallica fan. Battery is amazing. I've got Master.
Mm-hmm.
If you can get me into anything after the first 3 records, I guess I'd be impressed.
Just wow.
Yeah, I don't know
Or
about
is that
that.
even worth my time? And the answer is probably not.
Well,
No, I can support that notion. I'm an early Metallica guy myself, so
I
They
can't
were
argue
kind of
with
like,
it.
yeah, I don't know. I was like Anthrax and Megadeth, Metallica and Slayer, not quite as much. Sorry, I know I'm blaspheming left and right about metal here, but that's just who I am.
Got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, you have to own it.
That's right.
Like Dawkins.
Like all my CDs, I have to own them physically.
Yeah.
Apparently you do.
All right.
Okay.
Well, before we get into the body of the episode, I just want to say make sure to go up on Bandcamp, as Buke has already mentioned. Check out the new single. It'll be out by the time this is posted. And, why not go all in and get everything?
That's right. There's the 7-inch. There's the 7-inch and T-shirt package with a limited print of the cover image. There's all sorts of stuff. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
Check it out.
One day your wife doesn't come home and find you beneath your CDs.
we have earthquakes in California now.
oh shit, it's like a legit fear. I
Yeah.
had started at one point to put like string in front to try to hold them back, and then I gave up. So if I'm ever in this room I will be gone.
Well,
Buke.
IKEA has those little like brackets you can put at the top of the shelf and into the wall so it won't fall.
Oh, I do have it bolted to the wall, but all the CDs will just fly out.
I
at
got
my
you.
head.
Okay.
Projectile style, yeah, that'll be
Yeah.
really exciting. That's a good way to go for a metalhead, right?
Yeah, buried in its own music.
Wasn't there a scene in one of the Hellraiser movies where there was like a CD Cinnabite?
Oh yeah, I remember that. It had like sticking out of the head and like angels and stuff. Yeah,
That's what I would have done.
Yeah, totally. All right, before we get into the news, first of all, I want to say that Will has now joined us. So welcome, Will.
Hello.
And also, the guys have been asking me to do this, so we're going to insert this in here real quick. We wanted to talk about albums from 2016 that were missed. Now, I don't know if this was were these like list worthy or just like albums in general?
List worthy. It was
Okay, list
it would have
worthy.
been on my list.
Okay.
So everybody, come on, say it all in unison. We all missed Buke's number 1, right?
No, that made it onto a lot of albums.
Yeah, it was on my list.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Will.
So anyway, let's just go around like we normally would.
Well, let's just do them all at once, though. I mean,
Yeah. No, that's what I mean. So, I mean, Trevor, did you have any albums from 2016 that you hadn't discovered until this year that you were like, man, this was awesome?
Nope, not a single fucking thing, and I assume that will happen later this year. Sorry.
All right, then. Well, then we'll go to John for he's
I only got one album, and to be honest, I don't even know if it would make my list, but it's a pretty cool album anyway. It's a band called Faces in the Bog. Album's called Ego Death. And they're kind of a sludgy post-doom band from Chicago.
I'm going to have to check that out.
What's it called again?
Faces in the Bog, B-O-G.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
it. Otherwise, my list is still intact.
Excellent. Will?
I've told all you guys about this one, either personally, via text, on the phone. Drossenblatt, Metathonia.
Yes.
Man, I remember putting it on one day. I'm driving my son around, trying to get him to fall asleep because little fucker won't fall asleep sometimes. and I was like, God damn, this is catchy. And I had it at the time. You know, I bought it first when it was released, but I just didn't. I had this perception in my mind that it was like, if George likes it, I'm not going to like it.
Fuck you.
And then it's going to be like all this like postmodern, weird, like synthesizers with like, I don't know, something weird. And then I was like,
Canadian,
really,
just like,
yeah, like something.
it's going to be
Canadian.
Canadian. Yes.
But and it had nothing to do with the fact that we had Joel on and he was such a phenomenal guest. Had nothing to do with that. I actually listened to the album, delved into it, and listened to a lot of it. And Drossenblatt, Metathonia would have been high on my list had I paid more attention to it.
Smart man. Trevor, have you heard Throssenblatt?
I feel like I've heard clips and I saw that they were on your show, but I've not delved in. But it sounds like I really should.
Yeah, I think
I will. So let's forecast the future. I will say that is my undiscovered 2016 album
There you go.
as of later today.
Yeah,
Kind of
definitely.
especially
That was the way
this is
Joel
starting
did a
to
list, too.
this is starting to resemble Joel's list.
Yeah. Yeah, when Joel was on, he built his list based on ours.
Anything we said. I haven't heard that, but it sounds
Yeah,
good.
it's on my list.
But no,
As long as
really.
it's available on CD. I don't want it on download or something.
It is available on CD and vinyl.
But I think you would dig what he's doing. It's
Oh,
good.
he would. I'm sure of it. Yeah.
I think you would.
Is he a one-man thing?
Sort of. Well, I mean, he's got a bass player and a drummer, but he does all the writing.
It's just like you, actually. They're across there. They don't live together. They don't live near each other.
Exactly.
We do not live together, in case that came up at all.
Nearby.
That's,
They
Not
don't
there's
live
anything wrong with
nearby.
Not
We all
that
live in
there's
a one-bedroom
anything wrong with
apartment
that.
and just create. It's amazing.
All right, then. Jay, do you have anything?
Buke, you're a jerk. Of course, Chemist should have been on my list, so just go fuck yourself. I mean, it wasn't on my list. Whatever, dude. Life goes on. Get over it. But it wasn't on my list, and I realize now that I was wrong. But above and beyond that,
That sound not sincere at all.
oh, it wasn't sincere. I mean, he won't shut the fuck up. I mean, hey, Jay, did you get that Chemist record yet? Jay, what do you think of that Chemist record? It's fucking, God, I dream about it. No, I'm joking. It's good. And it was Buke's insistent pushing to get me to listen to it more that I was like, okay, yeah, I kind of missed
Yeah,
this.
that's how Trevor fell into Opeth. He didn't have a choice.
Yeah, he comes at you all guns blazing.
And I'll give extra props to Chemist from being from, they're from Colorado, right? Which is where I grew up,
Denver.
so even more there. It is. Denver is the home of all metal now, I guess.
Yeah.
But-
I was saying last year on my list, it was either Sweden or Denver. It was like almost no in between. It was crazy.
So, yeah, that's right. Will was all about Colorado. So, but above and beyond that, a record that I'm trying to push to everybody on the pod right now, a band that I did previously listen to I don't know, clips of this record last year, and I was like, meh. And never had a complete listen. I put it on recently, and it blew my fucking mind. And it's Sog, Memento Mori. Holy fuck, dude. It's such a good record. It would have been number 2 to Witchcraft, without question. That should have been on my list. That's SAHG, Sog,
Yeah,
for those
I
of
have
you.
listened to that record. It's cool.
It's so good. And I was a huge fan of the first record, and then I had the second one, and I just didn't listen to it as much. And right now, Saga is all I'm listening to. I went back and got the whole catalog again. Anyway, really would suggest that one to people, and it is should have been on my list. Duke, did you miss anything?
Yes, I did, buddy. It was surprisingly enough your number one, Witchcraft Nucleus.
Right. That's right.
Awesome. Strong prog elements, strong 70s, 80s influences. The guy's voice, Pellender, is amazing.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of a reciprocal jerk.
No, but I was on Xbox with Duke when he discovered that record, and I could hear it through his head, through his mic, and he was like, and he was just like 2 songs, and he was like, you know what, dude, this is fucking great. So
yeah, and it did make. I forgot to put it on my list. But I do want to mention it here. The Vreed Hammer Violator album was out of the park, and I did forget the Trap Them album. And I wanted to get that on record that both those albums I did miss, and they were amazing. So,
Did you miss Trap Them because you just didn't listen to it enough, or you just didn't?
no, it's just when I was doing my list in the ADD moment, it just didn't make.
Actually, I remember that when we did the list, both that and Vreed Hammer Buke was like, fuck, I forgot about those. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And one more, just recently, I'll talk about it later. But Ancients, Voice of the Void, maybe top 5.
There you go.
So,
All right. I didn't really find anything that would have changed my list. I mean, I think I've probably found a few albums from last year.
we know you're the best. We know.
I am the best. Why would I change the best when it's already perfect? No, I'm sorry. I just I couldn't think of anything. So
You're a bit of a completist. I mean, you probably overall listened to more different bands than we did all last year. So there you go. Chances are you caught it.
Well, there's
That
always
was
something
a
that slips
compliment
through.
Well, I don't know if that was backhanded. Like, yeah, you have no life, George.
You are OCD and completely crazy.
Yeah, you just sit down in your basement and surround yourself. Not unlike Trevor. Look at him. Look at this guy.
So, gentlemen,
No, that you're surrounded by. You're in your bunker.
I'm in my yeah.
Before we move on to the news, I wanted to ask John and George and Will. You guys took in a show the other day. You guys saw Overkill, Amorphous, Swallow the Sun, Nile minus Dallas now. I just wanted to see how the tour is. Or sorry, was.
Well, we recorded a little piece that we're going to tack on the end of the episode. But so stick around for that. But, just to give you the quick summary, it was a good show. There wasn't any filler in this bill. It was 4 bands, no filler. It was good.
I have not seen Nile since right when Amongst the Catacombs came out. And I remember they came through Denver and did a little signing at this place called Mosh Pit Records. And Carl Sanders was super cool, but they were like total unknowns, kind of building up. And man, they have just keep powering through and doing
good stuff. It's a bummer that Dallas left, though. We were all a little surprised by that.
But you'll hear one thing I want to echo what Trevor said is, Carl. I met Carl once a couple years ago when he played Jax here locally in the DC area. Super nice guy, like just the most chilled out, awesome guy. And after the show a couple days ago, like half my Facebook friends who were at the show all have pictures with Carl, like on their Facebook page. Like he just like walked around, like take my picture with me. Like he's just a cool guy.
Yep. Seems like real down to earth. Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's a weird Carl fact for you. He's 53 years old.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that something? I mean, he doesn't
got a
look
much
like
later
it.
start. Yeah.
Yeah. But the other thing I will say is, I will have to say, I mean, it was slightly different than when Dallas is on vocals and guitars, but I don't think they really missed a beat. I mean, it was still a great show, and it may have been slightly enhanced by the fact that they basically had like a almost a cappella group, 3 guys doing lead vocals, just switching off and on, and it worked, and it was great. But you'll hear all about this later on.
Yep. All right, let's move into the news then. First up, John, why don't you lead with today's news?
Yeah, kind of a bummer. I don't know if I talk about it much, but I'm a big Y&T fan from the early, 80s, late 70s stuff. And they unfortunately lost a third original member from the band. Joey Alves, their guitarist, passed away, 63 years old.
Did it say how he passed away, John? I saw the headline, but I didn't see.
No, I just saw the headline. I didn't read too much into it. He hadn't been in the band for a couple of years, but I know for any of us who were fans of, Black Tiger.
Dave's the only one left, man. Dave is the last
surviving. And he's the main guy anyway. But yes, he's the only surviving from that band. So it's just kind of a bummer. I mean, last year was kind of the start of, I guess, for a lot of us seeing a lot of our childhood idols, but just guys or musicians we really followed. Just another one. Yeah, it's on a smaller scale band, but still, and being from the Bay Area, they're a Bay Area band, so they were really big for me when I was growing up.
They're still Bay Area heroes. They play the Fillmore once or twice a year.
And I was talking to George about this, I don't know, maybe a month or two ago. Some video stuff out there. Dave's still a pretty good singer, considering he's pretty up there now too in age.
Yeah, I saw him at M3 a couple years ago, and they sounded good.
Yeah,
he also just has a very unique, likable voice. By the way, I like Dave's voice quite a bit, but but not to get off the track there. But I was sad to hear that. I was sorry to hear that too.
Yeah. So but we go from there, right?
Death marches on.
Yeah, exactly.
Ask not for whom the bell tolls.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so I wasn't expecting to hear anything more from the band Bolt Thrower. Their drummer died. They pulled a Zeppelin and said, "That's it. We're hanging it up." But apparently, they're insinuating and teasing us that there might be something coming, and it's not like a new album. They've said that they're not going to be doing any new material, So I'm wondering if maybe they have some like unreleased songs or something that they might be packaging together. It sounds like they want to do some sort of tribute for the drummers. I don't know, maybe it's a live album. Who knows? But it sounds like we're going to be seeing something from them anyway. So I guess we'll see. Another kind of a bummer thing. Apparently, Lemmy's estate is worth less than previously expected. When he passed, it was speculated that he was worth a couple of $1 million. And they're saying now that he was really only worth about $650K, which is kind of mind-blowing considering the influence and the magnitude of his celebrity. That, I read something that said somebody was asking him, hey, why do you live in this 2-room apartment, on the strip here? And he's like, I can't afford to live anywhere else. And everybody's like, yeah, whatever, you're Lemmy, you're loaded. Apparently he wasn't.
So they never sold any records. I mean, they weren't big sellers.
It's kind of like the Ramones.
I was sort of surprised to hear this simply because Motorhead has gone on to become like a brand.
Yeah.
And so I sort of thought it was worth a little more than that. But on the other hand, I'm willing to bet, even though Lemmy wrote everything and all that they split everything 3 ways too. So
yeah,
I don't think Lemmy was taking a bigger paycheck than everybody else. So, but I wasn't that surprised to hear it. Motorhead, their heyday was Ace of Spades. That was probably when they made more money back then than any other time, and they've just kind of been probably making a couple $100,000 a year for the last.
Yeah, living off of it, but that's about it.
Living off of it.
He said,
I'll say, like, I remember when I was brewing at my first brewery, Port City, like Ace of Spades, whether we had on Spotify, Pandora, some obscure radio station in St. Louis that the head brewer wanted to put on, like Ace of Spades was played in that brewery in some way, shape, or form once a day, at least. And so, like, how do they not just have $1 million a year each, the royalty on just that song alone?
Yeah, but you know what? Here's another thing, though, that when they toured, they were one of those bands that they had a cook that came with them. They had a crew that they were really faithful to. I mean, you got to pay those people. So those people are all getting paid. They've got things like old sets that are in storage in England that they probably have to pay the storage. You know what I mean? Like it's a business, but they're putting out a lot of money too. So they probably actually did generate quite a bit of money, but not unlike Metallica.
They could have had a terrible deal too. I mean, I don't know, but a lot of bands get screwed by how much the label takes. So
that's good point.
But also I bet you he's got hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of Nazi memorabilia. His family is taken care of, man. I mean, he can,
Yeah.
There are assets out there, I'm sure, that they can liquidate and that kind of thing, let alone the money. So, it's funny because I thought I heard that Phil Campbell his estate was worth more than that, if I remember right. Or no, I mean Phil Taylor, Filthy Phil.
Right.
Yeah, well, maybe he just drank a little bit less Jack Daniels.
Yeah. Well, another one of the quotes from Lemmy said that he made more from writing "Mama, I'm Coming Home" for Ozzy than on anything else cumulatively up until then.
Yeah.
Wow.
I once read that Brian Tadler from Diamond Head, that the Garage Days Revisited album still pays his. That's how he's made a living all these days, just because Metallica recorded just a few of his songs, and it pays his house payment. He says.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's awfully charitable of Metallica.
Right.
Metallica should be covering all kinds of obscure bands just to help them out.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I think they should start covering Lady Gaga. I think that'd be really artistically great.
No. That goes the other way. Lady Gaga needs to cover Metallica to help them out. Well, I don't know. Actually, I guess they've been doing it longer. They probably do have more money than she does, but probably not for long.
Right.
All right. So next up, Moonspell is in pre-production for a Portuguese language concept album about the Great Lisbon Earthquake. Okay, well, we know Buke's not going to listen to it. Not in English.
I thought Buke liked things with lesbians in it.
But I don't know about that. I mean, I like their early albums, but I haven't really cared for much they've done in a while.
I thought it was good.
But Hope Always Springs Eternal. Every time they have a new album, I still check it out, and I'll give it a listen. But I don't know. I'm skeptical.
I thought the new one. I think the new one was on your year end, wasn't it?
I don't think so.
Okay, maybe I'm thinking of Joel. There you go, George. That's a little compliment to you. I confused you with Joel.
I don't think it was Joel either.
Yeah,
Yeah, Joel had it on his
No,
list.
you're talking about Moon Sorrow, not Moonspell. Moon Sorrow. That's Moon Sorrow.
Oh, Moon Sorrow. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay,
Yeah.
Moon Sorrow are always worth listening
Yeah,
to.
that
Sorry
was
about
on
that.
my list.
My bad.
But not
bad.
Trevor,
Moonspell.
didn't you buy
Brain
the
fart.
big Moon Sorrow Deluxe 12 vinyl box set?
No, that was.
I did. Though
What
I
was
bought the
it?
Die Soft edition, not the Die Hard one, but it's still like $450 or something.
I was
But yes,
funny.
I
It's
do
funny
have it.
'cause I
They are
thought
one
you
of
bought-
my favorites. Yeah. So
How's
yes, I
that
do.
come packaged? Is it one big gatefold? Is it a huge cardboard box? Is it?
Yeah, it's a big box with a bunch of gatefold vinyls within it. It was pretty epic and very heavy. I think shipping was probably a third of that.
Really? A team of guys brought it to the house. Sir, we
Yeah,
got to deliver it out here for you.
We have a pallet.
So it sounds like maybe Alex Skolnick is getting ready to bail on Testament again. He said that he doesn't want to be an aging metal guy. Now, if you recall, the first time Alex Skolnick left the band, he wasn't really fond of metal anymore. He was like, oh, I want to go do other things that aren't metal because metal's so whatever. And so I was kind of surprised when he joined the band again because he had really kind of like that Mastodon guide all over metal. He was just like, metal sucks. I'm not doing this anymore. And then he came back and he was like, oh yeah, I like metal. Yeah, and I'm in the band again. I guess I need some money. So I'm not going to be terribly surprised if he leaves again.
No,
But-
that's exactly my thought. I felt like when he came back, and it's too bad because I think he's killer. I think Return to Serenity, personally, is the greatest guitar solo ever recorded on anything. That's and so I think he's phenomenal. But yeah, I feel like he came back for the money, and now he's feels like, oh, I don't want to be metal guy again. I want to be jazz guy again.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
we'll see how long it lasts before the bills pile up and he has
Has
to
he got a
come back
project with?
again.
Has he got a project with Brett Hines coming up?
Yeah, he's going to join that god awful thing that he did. I can't remember the name of it.
If you read a little deeper into the article, though, it was a wishy-washy statement. He was like, I know. He even says in the article, I'm sure that the headline from this on certain sites is going to be Alex Skolnick quitting Testament. He said, you should read it. It was more like he was just like, I don't want to be one of those guys that's 65 and doing this,
You don't want to be Lemmy
he was
because
sort of-
That's the problem, though. Why is that not cool?
Yeah.
That's what I wanted.
So he's going to be an aging jazz guy. Okay.
Yeah. So what is your example of the bad old metal guy? Okay, Lemmy. No, that's not a good example. Ozzy.
I'm looking at
He's
three
still
of
pretty
them
cool.
podcasts.
Yeah, and I fucking embrace it.
Alice Cooper's old, but he's still pretty cool too.
So great, yeah.
So I don't know what his basis for that is. I don't know.
I mean, I'm kind of curious. I want to be able to see Brutal Truth when they're all fucking 80 and see what happens. Just assuming they're all alive.
Mm-hmm.
I think I want to see aging metal dudes just keep pushing it.
Hell yeah.
Look at the Stones. I mean, they're still together, still pushing it. I mean, and they're still selling out stadiums.
Yep.
And they've been dead for years.
Well, except for Keith
Keep
Richards,
going
he will
until
outlive us all.
I'd like to see Slayer keep going until they can recreate the live Undead album with an actual photograph. That would be bitchin'. They're just banging guys,
So Dream Evil, who have kind of been wondering where they were, they're finally getting ready to release their 6th album called 6. It's coming out in May, and I'm sure Buke is going to do a little dance of happiness over that one. Any comment?
I did not expect to see this news.
Yes, it's unexpected.
Well, that was a non-committal statement.
Yes.
No. It's because Dream Evil, while they're one of my favorite bands, early Dream Evil is.
Fair enough.
Dream Evil, as of late, has kind of been phoning it in.
They haven't been
Well, look
anything
what they
as of
named
late.
their album.
What's that, Trevor?
Look at the album name. It's called 6. I think if anything's been phoned in, that's it.
To be sure. Well, I guess we'll see. I was surprised about this next one. Not that it was happening, but the fact that I actually enjoyed it. Deep Purple just released a video for their new song, All I Got Is You. And, I think like House of Blue Light was probably the last. Oh, wait, no. Battle Rage is on. I think maybe I like that one.
It's all right.
But I haven't really, been into like Deep Purple new music for a while. And I watched the video for this, and I really liked it, so I'm kind of hoping to hear more.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I checked it out, and the song is great. I will have to say though, and I don't know if this is the like least metal reference I can make, but the first thing I thought when I saw Ian Gillan is, oh shit, that looks like the dad from Bridget Jones' Diary.
No, he's finally looking aged.
Like, wow, yeah.
Ian Gillan is. I mean,
like with the glasses too, and he just looks like somebody's grandpa.
Yeah,
and it's cool. Again, I'm glad he's still doing it, but man,
his voice still sounds really good.
I mean, he can't. He's sort of like Rob Halford is now, which is sort of like as long as he keeps it slightly in that lower register.
Yeah,
but that's that song and the new album, or at least there's 2 songs out, and they're representative of all late era Deep Purple. All the records sound like that. I mean, meaning if you are thinking, there's a couple of them that are pretty good. Bananas was good. I don't know, I have to go back and look at mine, see what I have, because I get them all, just because I love Deep Purple. But
I'm gonna have to check them out too. Then I remember Bananas coming out, and I was like, Bananas. Yeah, I'd be bananas if I was gonna fucking buy that. But
no, it was good. It was actually a good record. A cool record that came out a while back was Ian Gillan's In, if you've ever heard that, and that was where he went back and re-recorded a bunch of old just songs that he's associated with, including Trashed from Born Again with Tony Iommi.
Which, by the way, that record needs way more praise than it gets.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, okay, actually, I got a tangent to go on then, by the way. Every time, they do Sabbath re-releases, it's always just Ozzy era. When are they going to get around to putting out nice vinyl re-releases of everything else, like especially up through Born Again? I don't understand. They never, ever, ever touch anything else.
You're talking just vinyl or CD? Because they did do the deluxe of Born Again.
That's right. That's right.
But it was like only in Europe.
Yeah. Trevor, did you ever hear that one? Somebody got a hold of it and released it with a pre-production kind of style. Like it was like it didn't have all of the fuzzy fuzz on it. It just sounded like a blues rock record, actually. Oh, it's worth your time. Yeah. I had it and I lost it and I can't find it. One of these days I'll try to turn you on to it since we're friended up on Facebook. So
awesome.
In any case, that's my tangent is let's get some nice vinyl re-releases of Heaven and Hell and Mob Rules and Born Again. Come on, what the fuck? And it's not just that they released the other ones; they released them so many times.
Yeah.
Like in the last 10 years alone, I think there's been 3 or 4 big re-releases of those.
Yeah, so, 2 words, Jay. Sharon
Osbourne. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I saw it coming.
I mean, really, well, you can't telegraph that because it's like it's like that runaway train coming right at you.
Isn't it? I thought Tony was the owner of the name, though. Am I making that up?
Look, she's maybe so, but she's been able to just get them to do whatever she wants them to do.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
So,
all right. So, Mastodon's released a 3rd song from their forthcoming album. This one's called Andromeda. Has anybody listened to this and want to weigh in on it?
It's all right.
It's all right. Yeah.
I know there was some disdain for the last one. Show yourself.
It's better than that one.
That sucked.
It's better than that. This one actually is a little more in the chordal sense. It's a sort of remission era, a little bit sounding, but
I don't know if you guys have noticed that it seems Troy's using some harsher vocals again a little bit. Yeah. Maybe not the whole time he sings, but I do like that aspect of it. I'm just not big on when they go full on, and I'm a prog guy. I have not complaining about that, but when they just kind of go full on almost FM radio, it seems like they're doing sometimes.
A little bit, yeah.
But I'm going to hold out and listen to the album.
I've liked all 3 so far. I mean, Show Yourself a little less, but it's still, I didn't think it was that bad.
No, they're not terrible, not by a long shot. I mean, they're fucking heavy, dude. They're still a heavy band no matter what you do. But I'll say this, I was listening to Crack the Sky on my
heavy band compared to what?
Yesterday.
Compared to their last few albums.
Well, no. I mean, I think the other ones are heavy too. They're not the all-out fucking rage they used to be, which I 100% prefer. Just like,
well, I don't feel like anything's memorable to me off any of the new albums.
Okay,
the last few, nothing stands out. There's a couple songs,
That's reasonable.
But if I go back and listen to Remission or Leviathan, or Practice Sky, or was it Blood Mountain?
Blood Mountain.
I mean, I can list off the top of my head 6-7 songs right off the bat. I'm like, I can listen to this all day. So
I know they were God, dude. When those records were coming out, they were my favorite band. I was just like, these guys can do no wrong.
So, and I don't dissuade.
Yeah, they will show you.
I wish I could say, but I'm still in the dark. This is my love for Mastodon is like my love for Star Wars. It runs so deep. I don't want it to be spoiled until I can get the whole product in my hands.
Well, Lady Gaga's doing a guest appearance.
What?
And the Star Wars film. I that's what I love.
Wait.
Star Wars so much.
What? Whoa. Stop the clock. Wait, what did you fucking say?
I was just fucking with him.
Oh, okay. Because, listen, Metallica was already ruined for me. And then when Gaga got involved, it just all right, I can physically check out. I will never pre-order anything they ever do again. I have no hope. But when you just said something about Gaga and Star Wars, I almost put a fucking gun to my head.
Yeah,
no, I was talking about Gaga and Mastodon, not Gaga and Star Wars.
No, but I threw out the Star Wars. I said she was in the Star Wars film.
Yeah, she's actually going to be
Princess Leia.
Yeah, she's going to be taking over the role of Carrie Fisher.
I'm going to put my 45 away.
Sorry about that, Will. I that was sacrosanct. I shouldn't have gone there. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Oh my God, what were you doing?
Yeah, I was bad. I was bad. Bad thinking. I'm done. I'm done with that. Won't happen again, buddy.
Thank you. Don't fuck with Star Wars.
Word. So Satyricon are recording a new album for a September release, and this makes me very happy because I'm a pretty big Satyricon fan. And what with Sater's health issues that he's been having lately, it's good to see him working. And
I forgot what was it? He had a cancer thing or something. What was
a tumor?
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So hopefully he's doing all right. And hopefully this is going to be another killer album. I know some people kind of poo-pooed the last album because they brought in some dude to do some clean vocals. Trevor. Yeah.
I know, the ultimate sin, apparently.
But
I thought it was cool. I thought it worked.
I thought it was a great album.
Yeah, it worked out really well.
Yeah.
Well, the last one was that live at the Opera House thing or whatever it was, and that was really fucking cool.
Last studio album.
The studio, fair enough.
The self-titled album.
I just
but I have to be honest, I think Dark Medieval Times is still the most played record of theirs for me.
Oh, me too.
I've apparently gotten stuck right there at the beginning and could never. I mean, I like everything else, but that was like the record.
Yeah,
that's great.
By far my favorite. So Pallbearer released a video for the second single, or I don't know if it's a single, but it's the second song they've released from their new album. It's called I Saw the End. And I got to say, I really liked this. Anybody want to shoot me down?
I thought it was kind of meh.
I haven't heard it yet.
It was fine. The video looked like a 1980s Doctor Who episode, which was kind of cool, but that was about it. That's all that stuck with me.
I haven't listened to it yet, so I can't comment.
Yeah, I'm
Trevor.
a huge Pallbearer fan, and so I pre-ordered the album. I've heard 2 songs on the album, not the new one with the video. It's not.
You're not convinced yet.
No, I just don't think the direction that they're going. And part of it may just be the production. The production just may be slightly different.
It's cleaner. It's not as... I like that. I've always kind of complained. If I had one complaint about Pallbearer was the not very, but slightly muddy sound to some of their songs. And this sounds a little tighter, and I'm digging that.
No, I don't like my.
You're wrong.
I don't like my metal production. Yeah, just no. Sorry, I was going to go somewhere and I just decided not to go there.
Oh, really? Where were you going to go?
Something about a tight butt and metal production and just decided
what?
not to get there.
Okay then.
It's been a long weekend, man.
Avatarium. Leif Edling's one of his side bands is going to be releasing their new album, Hurricanes and Halos, on May 26th. I really liked the last one, so I'm looking forward to that. Crickets?
No, but you did kind of ride that wave on your own.
Yeah,
you were
I kind of figured.
What do I think of Avatarium? I think George liked them very much.
I'm gonna.
I bought that vinyl just because you recommended it, and I Wish I hadn't.
It's awesome.
I thought it was just okay, stupid. I don't know why I like giving you crap about that one. It was. You were so excited, and you were all by yourself. It was just sad to watch.
Yeah, I was all buked,
Yeah, there you go.
And Buke's going to be feeling that later today. So just wait till we get to that one. I'm gonna leapfrog here because we have more Leaf Edling news that I didn't realize that when I wrote this. But the Doomsday Kingdom, another one of his bands, is going to be. They just released a new song called "Hand of Hell" from whatever it is they've got coming out soon, and it was all right. I don't think I like this project quite as much. So
As what?
As Avatarium.
I just wanted to say that.
Or
I haven't heard it.
It's a little too traditional for me. Just kind of like meh.
Yeah,
he's uber traditional. Yeah. You got his number.
But without any you can be traditional and still be interesting, and I felt like it missed out on that.
Yeah, just sort of like anything with Candlemass these days is just kind of meh.
Meh.
So the band Him are calling it quits. And I
have never heard a note of these guys. By the
really?
way. I don't know anything about them.
I'm gathering George hates them.
Actually, no. I mean, I wrote the note after that is "In the World Rejoiced," and I wrote that because I figured everybody on here was going to be like, "Fuck yeah," death to them, and they're all right. I like some of their earlier songs. They're very, very radio friendly, pop metal, but.
Actually, George, most of them are just like, well, why are you even mentioning this? Even if they suck and they are not they're calling it quits. We don't care.
Literally, this band is on nobody's radar. It's true, actually.
Yeah.
Well, all right then.
Well,
fuck me.
Wait.
Is that guy Bam or whatever his name is?
No,
or Jera or whatever? Is he on Suicide
Bam
Watch now with this?
Right.
I can speak on this as somebody who was a big Bam fan and everything like that.
And everything like that.
Bam did a lot for, I hate to say heavy music scene for younger kids, but Bam did put on some metal shows. And Bam featured metal bands on his shows, like Gwar, Clutch. Were on his shows pretty frequently.
Clutch is even a metal band.
I was just gonna say, Clutch just got metal again. Go for it.
But Bam, if you guys ever watched Jackass or you watched his show, one of Bam's best friends, Ryan Dunn, died in a car accident a couple years back.
Sure,
and
it was a big deal.
And that sent Bam spiraling.
Oh, he was a mess after that.
Yeah.
Now he only listens to depressive, suicidal black metal.
Yeah, exactly.
So there you go. There's my teeny bopper minute.
Yeah, it's interesting. Not to spend too much time on this, but that whole Jackass, Bama, Jera, that all started in Westchester, Pennsylvania, which is where I went to undergrad. So,
and I got offered a football scholarship there, and I turned them down because people said it was a horrible party school.
And then you went where?
They didn't party enough, parties?
Or yeah,
no,
they said there wasn't enough parties there.
Oh, they're just awful.
So I know
maybe. Yeah, sorry.
Let's go Golden Rams.
Hey man, that's my undergrad alma mater.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Brainiac over here.
No, that's just my undergrad alma mater. I got a couple other degrees.
Don't forget, guys. In case you didn't know, this is Dr. Will.
Doctor.
So I'm probably going to be alone on this next one too. Pirate Metal Forever. Yes. Ailstorm is going to be releasing No Grave But the Sea in May. Any takers? No.
I'll check it out, but I've been very underwhelmed. I think they were really funny at the outset. I think Christopher Bose is hilarious, but I will take Swashbuckle over Ailstorm.
Trevor, just because pirate. You look like an extra from Black Sails doesn't mean you need to listen to it. Okay?
Man, we got to pay the bills somehow.
Okay?
Yeah.
You don't have to, okay?
All right. Well, I'm going to keep trying then. What about Ensiferum? They're going to release a new album in September as well.
Yes, One Man Army was fucking great after the dismal Unsung Heroes that I think was the worst thing they've ever done.
All right. Yeah, I thought you might like that. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm interested to see what that's going to sound like.
I'd be okay with not as many disco breaks, but otherwise.
You know what's really awful is that band Turasauce. Do you know them?
Fuck you, they're great.
That's like that is fucking.
Wait, Turistas? Aren't they like a folk metal band? And
They do like Viking show tunes.
Yeah, and it's funny because their first 2 records are more traditional metal. But
I like those.
They deviate. Well, that's funny. I thought they were real bland, and then I finally checked out Stand Up and Fight and Teresa's 2013, and was like, this is great. It's like Freddie Mercury got into a folk metal band. I think it's great.
It's bizarre, but I probably should revisit it. But anyway,
not forever.
So why don't we move on to Brewheads news with Will?
Yeah, so I may be slightly unprepared to do anything because I didn't think I was actually going to be on this episode, but here I am. So the news is last Friday. So what is this? This is Sunday. So 9 days ago, I went down to, so I live in D.C., so I'm a brewer at Atlas Brewworks in D.C., and we went down and did a collaboration brew at Champion Brewing Company in Charlottesville, Virginia, to create a double IPA called Decibeer, which is named after Decibel magazine. And so this all came about because Champion, Atlas, and like maybe a dozen other breweries are going to be were hand selected by the Decibel staff to be the breweries represented at the Decibel Metal and Beer Fest. So Champion. So the Decibel Metal and Beer Fest will be in Philadelphia. We've talked about it a million times on this podcast, but in case you're listening to for the first time or you're not paying attention, and if you're like Jay and you just like zone out every time I open my mouth, that
he's talking beer again.
Yeah, and Jay's not even there, so clearly he zones out when he knows I'm going to talk. But anyway, so we did it. Champion took it upon themselves to initiate, like, let's do a collaboration brew with as many bands and as many breweries as possible who are all invited to the beer fest. So a couple bands showed up. Decibel, the managing editor, Decibel, which is
Albert.
Yeah, sorry, man. Like I'm trying to think of all this stuff at the last minute because I'm not prepared. So Albert Mudrian, the managing editor, he was there. James Lewis, their sales guy, was there. Neil Jameson, who writes an article, is also pretty much the band leader in Krieg, was there. And then like a couple guys from Champion and myself were there. So we brewed 2 batches, a double batch of a double IPA called Decibeer, and then it will be premiered probably at Champion some point, but we're going to premiere it at Atlas in DC on April 13th at a heavy metal show, which is going to be co-sponsored by True Brewing Company, which is Zach from the head brewer at True Brewing Company in Denver, Colorado. Who's also the drummer Alchemist. And then we're going to debut the beer there, and then we're going to, obviously, the beer is going to be served at the Metal and Beer Fest. Jay, you missed it. I was like going on this like long thing, like, hey, everyone tunes out when I start talking, and you literally left when I started.
Sorry, buddy. That's fucked up.
Yeah, anyway, so sorry. It's kind of rambling because I'm not prepared today because I did not think I was going to be on the podcast today. But yeah, Decibeer, double IPA, served at the Decibel Magazine Metal and Beer Fest in Philly the weekend of
22nd, 23rd of April.
Yeah, 22nd, 23rd.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4/5 of this podcast will be attending. Is that not correct? You guys are all going, right?
That is correct.
No. 100% will be going because we're going to buy you a ticket and a plane ticket. We're kidnapping you.
We're not letting you go back in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, because let's not forget, I'm actually going to be out there pretty quick. And it's funny, too, because I'm going to see the Chemist guys right before I come because they're going to come out here and we're going to trade up some beers and stuff.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, they're playing in San Francisco.
And Will, what's that awesome name of the beer you guys are brewing?
Yeah, so Atlas.
Metalheads podcast beer, finally.
Yeah. No, I thought we settled this.
It has to be somebody else, dude.
Do we have to get Chemist back on to go over this again?
Yeah, I know.
So So in the new issue of Decibel Magazine, which George was very kind enough to get his copy way before I did.
His grubby little hands on.
Yeah, his grubby little fingers on it.
They are short little fingers, aren't they?
Hey, you know, size doesn't matter, George.
It's not the size of your pencil, it's how you write your name, Georgie.
Which might be hard if you have tiny little fingers.
Yeah.
I love you, Trevor.
So yeah, the magazine came.
The issue came. George got it. He sent a picture of the page. Or so in this new issue, they're featuring all the bands and all the breweries that are going to be at the Decibel Magazine Beer Fest. So George took a picture of the article that My Brewery Atlas is featured in. But I have to say, I had to take a little bit of issue with Decibel because it was like a much longer email interview, and they chopped it down, and they don't even mention like half the other guys in the brewery, which is...
Was that a new photo, Will, or was it from a previous article that you were involved in?
No. So we took that photo, which we made it to seem like it was like some metal band photo, if you ever seen it.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I saw it. Yeah, it's a good picture.
Yeah. So no, that was our idea. Like, we're going to make this look like some sort of like weird metal band photo for a cover.
And you're
art
wearing
or
the
something.
podcast shirt.
Yeah, that was the best part.
Yeah.
We got into Decibel.
God,
Yeah.
I am so glad you're the brewer and not the rest of us. God,
Anyway,
imagine
blah,
that
blah,
picture.
blah, blah, blah. Long story short. So the beer that we are making, or I should say the beer that the rest of the guys are making for the festival is called Hasawodo, which is short for Hail Satan, Worship Doom.
Oh, nice.
I can't wait to get some of that.
Yeah, it's a black saison. So Sean and Dan and the other guys at the brewery are doing a fantastic job, making some pilot batches, tweaking it, making it great, and they'll do a great job. So I'm excited.
Yeah, looking forward to that. All right, why don't we move into new releases?
This one kicks ass.
I was going to say, Buke, if you didn't listen to this one, you probably should. This one surprised me. The band...
This is Buke all over it.
Yeah.
The band is called Buke Loves This. The album is This Is All Buke. Go ahead, George.
The band is called...
Glory Hammer have a new album out?
Yeah.
I think
Evocation.
Gloryhammer will have a new album out this year.
Evocation. The Shadow Archetype. A Swedish death metal band. And, you know, if you start thinking Swedish death metal, you start thinking like At the Gates or something, forget it. This is really cool. I mean, not that At the Gates isn't, but, you know, it's like...
You know how I would describe this, George? It's when a lot of bands do Swedish death metal, they try and do the 90s Swedish death metal. Mm-hmm. This is modern Swedish death, if that makes sense.
I think it's got like a little bit of black in there, honestly. It's death metal, but it's not as like... So much death metal now kind of turns me off because it's just a wall of noise and grunting vocals that there's no enunciation or any kind of, I don't know. I don't know how to say it, but this is really good. This is not what I've come to expect from contemporary death metal, and I enjoyed it immensely. The next one is the new album from Fen, which is called Winter. These guys are an atmospheric black metal band, and John has just not been able to shut up about these guys. He went out and bought their whole catalog.
Yeah, this was, for me, Trevor's opus. You know, it was. I mean, I hadn't listened to them, so I kind of like what they do, so I just went out and bought everything.
Yeah, and the new album is quite good.
It's good, but my complaint the last 2 years applies to this album, although I do like it still. And it's a beast. It's a long album.
And you know, there's a deluxe edition with even more songs.
Yeah. Don't get me started. It's like another 25 minutes, I know.
Yeah.
Which, hey, I actually like that. I think every album they release a lot of extra material. So, cool. I like it.
Yeah.
Hey, John, one thing I've noticed is you seem more focused. This is actually kind of a compliment. You seem, in your musical taste, you're more focused on the actual music than the lyrics, the vocals, I should say, the vocals. Because you run the gamut of clean vocals, black metal vocals, death metal vocals, but if the music is there for you, you'll jump right in. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, but if the vocals suck, then it's going to ruin it for me. But for the most part, I can get past some of it. Come on.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm a lifelong Rush fan, and I will defend Geddy Lee to the death.
I was going to say, that's like the one vocal thing I can't get past. I tend to like everything, too, and it will not be put off by vocals, but Geddy just has never worked for me.
Yeah, and but Trevor, don't you think that's how it is with them, though?
Yes.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, you love the music. You're like, ugh, Geddy. Or you're just like, so help me God if you say one more bad thing about Geddy Lee.
Right. Totally.
Yeah, but Will, I would say you're correct for that for the most part.
Okay.
Can I take this next one, guys?
Of course.
You guys ever have something that you're so high on? You're high as a kite and everything in the world is going right. You're skipping through a field of daisies. All is right. Yeah. All is right with the world, and then you just want to share it with your best friend, and you want to share in that happiness, and you call your best friend today,
and he fucking eviscerates you.
Yeah. The album we're talking about is Havoc, and their new album Conformicide. This is a thrash band. This is their third or fourth album now, in the style of like a Municipal Waste,
Death Angel.
Death Angel.
Yeah, a little bit of violence.
But as George
violence
popped my balloon today, like a bullet.
That's not what I thought you were going to say.
Let me say it.
Is that like a Dirty Sanchez?
Go ahead, George.
So he's all like excited, and he's like, "Have you heard the new Havoc?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, it's if you got rid of the bass, because the bass is like Seinfeld bass, funky thumping music,
Love that about it.
And I was like, okay, that right there turned me off. I was like, nope, fuck these guys. But
that's what I love about it. But ever since George told me this today, when any of their songs start,
you can't not hear it.
Jerry Seinfeld up on stage doing his opening monologue.
It's like
ruined.
It's like the snare on Injustice for All. Once you hear it, you can't unhear it.
George, if your wife says to you, "Do I look fat in these pants?" the answer is no. You don't. When your buddy calls you, you don't got to shoot him down, man. Come on, throw him a bone.
I really didn't want to do it. If we'd come onto the podcast, I wouldn't have said anything. But since he called me up, I had to be honest, and I was like, dude,
fair enough.
If you drop out the bass line, like layer in a few more guitar tracks, you got a pretty good Death Angel album.
And for those of us who don't know what we're talking about, there's a little trend with some tech death bands where they kind of they really take the bass out of the background and really amp it up, and where it's all by itself. It doesn't fade into the background at all, and it definitely is what this is here.
And as we all know, bass players are meant to be in the background, not seen, not heard, just basically ignored. Jason Newsted is a good example of that.
This is not.
He knew his place.
So
Steve Harris, a good example.
Yeah.
Of that?
So again, this is now ruined for me. I picture Jerry Seinfeld. I picture stupid Les Claypool up on stage just slapping his fucking bass now.
That is an exception.
Slapping the bass.
That is an exception.
Les Claypool?
No. But when George says that the bass in this album is all slappy, that's all I can think of.
I'll be sitting here, what's up with this?
Yeah, what's up with the bass?
I am so curious about this record now. I can't even. I don't. Now I'm thinking back to their last couple. I do not remember that, so I'm gonna have to go revisit this.
No, I've liked them in the past.
I will say this: Havoc, when they debuted, George, I remember him calling me or texting me saying, "Buke, you need to get this album."
Yeah, their Time's Up, I think, was the first album, and that was good. I don't know. Maybe they had it, and I just don't remember it, but.
Guy does play a really cool bass, though. The frets are actually lighted. It's actually really cool.
So, Buke, you're going to trip out when their forthcoming album after this one comes out, and it's the horn opening to Curb Your Enthusiasm.
No, I will agree with everything said. That there is a bass element that is quirky, and it reminds me of Brain Tentacles. If you've heard that one from Dave Woody's band, there's an element to that, but it's sort of like in a weird sort of way. I find it refreshing. Like it's slightly different. It's a bass player getting out there, getting some recognition that they normally wouldn't get, and so I'm down with it.
How I referred to it earlier talking to George is, if anybody's heard the latest couple years now, Job for a Cowboy album, the bass was really in the forefront on that album. Same style here.
Or Buke, what was that? Was it Revocation or the one that had the fretless bass on it this year? That just kind of honestly drove me nuts. I couldn't take my ears off the bass.
Revocation, yeah.
Yes, the Revocation album. He played the fretless bass, and there's nothing wrong with it, but it just becomes the dominant experience, and it made it honestly kind of unlistenable for me for that one reason.
Speaking as a guitar player.
That's
God damn, that guy's face is covering up all
Can't
the great
bass
guitars.
get their moment in the sun for 1 second, Jay?
Not since Cliff Burton died.
Fretless
1
bass,
second is exactly what it needs.
That's right. Yeah. No, but a fretless bass is just an annoying fucking.
Can we move on to something we all agree with is just trash?
No, actually, and I really think you need to listen to this one, Buke. This is
God damn it, George.
This is the new self-titled Obituary album, and I honestly I can't understand why Buke doesn't like Obituary to begin with.
Vocals. He sounds so whiny.
Nah.
No, what?
Yeah, and that's why you really need to listen to the new album, because I don't know if it's him singing any differently or if it's something they've done with the production, but that like edge on his voice that I know is part of what bothers you is not really there.
Okay, I will tell you what turned me off to Obituary. When I heard Don't Care for the first time, I was like, oh, you're right. I don't care about you. Your voice is horrible.
I'm in.
Well, I like it.
Will, look at me. Will right now is like, Buke, if I could just sock you right in the face right
Buke,
now.
If I could gouge out your eyes and skull fuck you, I would. If I may, my 2 cents on Obituary, being a longtime Obituary fan, is I love the new album. I will say there's a couple songs on there that are a little thrashier than which is normal for Obituary, and in a weird sort of way, I like it. It's a different direction, and a direction that I like. Unlike other bands like Mastodon or Metallica or whatever, it's like, oh yeah, we're just gonna get like more clean vocals or more rock and roll. Like Obituary is like, hey, we're gonna still be death metal, but we're gonna like the solo is gonna be a little thrashier, and the vocals are gonna be awesome, Buke, and the whole album is gonna be awesome. And like Buke, I'm sorry, you're wrong. You're just totally wrong. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. I cannot like, and I don't know why I'm using a prop, my daughter's Frozen doll, but
with this Frozen doll as my witness,
I can't lie. I did not listen to this. So
yeah, well, honestly, I think John Tardy's probably one of the few death metal vocalists right now that actually stands out.
Yes, agreed.
Yeah,
because these days
you're wrong.
Because all the new contemporary death metal bands, they all just sound the same. He's just grunting up on the vocals, and it's just like, whatever. I think he's got a really good distinct style.
Millennial generation. You need to get on the bandwagon, or it's going to pass you by, brother.
I'm going to pass it by, I think.
Listen. Wait, listen. We have the sound drop from Jay for the Convincing Buke, which may be my second favorite sound drop. My newest favorite one is the end of the episode one, which is brilliant, by the way.
Yeah.
I wanted George to talk on that one, but I couldn't get him to do it.
Yeah, which is even more brilliant. Jay, you're brilliant.
Oh, you're
now
beautiful, man.
Now you're listening to me. Oh, before yeah,
pull me with a compliment.
But Buke, we need to have a Convincing Buke on this new album. Like I'm dead serious. Listen to it.
There you go.
With an open mind. Check it out.
And then we'll check back in the next step.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I will certainly do that.
And then if you don't like it, you will get a bullet in your head from 1,000 yards away.
That's rock and roll, baby.
That's compelling.
Okay, this next one I don't know anything about. Ocean Wake, George.
Yeah, well, I've got a little beef with these guys, but John actually brought this band. I don't know if it's guys. I'm assuming it's guys. To my attention, he was like, "Hey, did you listen to the new Ocean Wake?" And I was like, "No, I haven't." And so I tried listening to it. It's kind of hard to find. We didn't get a promo for it, and their their Bandcamp page does not stream them. I don't believe. Did they?
I don't remember because I didn't actually listen to it.
Right. Well,
I just asked if you knew about them.
So the release date for the album was March 10th, which was 2 days ago, Friday. As of today, March 12th, Sunday, when you go to their Bandcamp page, it still says pre-order to be released on March 10th. And this is my one grief with Bandcamp is that I will not pre-order an album because nobody fucking releases anything on time. I'm like, I'm not giving you my money unless you're Trevor, of course.
Well, I was going to say, is this a good time to tell everyone that the vinyl has been delayed by like 3 weeks because it has?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
But
I think we should blame that and George's problem on daylight savings time.
Yeah.
Oh, totally. It's that lost hour just fucks up everything.
Whenever I pre-order, which I don't usually pre-order, but sometimes I get excited and I'm like, I got to pull the trigger now. And then I pre-order it, and then it's days.
You pre-order all over the screen.
Yes.
And around your face.
And then the release date comes and goes, and they don't release it. And I had one album, it was over a week past the release date to release the digital version.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Now, I understand if you've got problems, and you could at least post something, though. But for a physical copy, you get what you get. I understand that. But a digital release, and especially if it's through a label, which Ocean Wake is, so it's more of the label's problem than the band. But come on, release your shit on time.
Yeah,
I don't want to too much defend Bandcamp, but I will say you have to manually do that for pre-orders. You have to go pull the trigger. You can't set it up and have it go live. So if they forgot, they're busy.
Right. And I assume that's what it is. And it's.
So you think they'd be like, "Hey, it's our release day. Let's do this.
Let's pay attention on the release day." Yeah, it's like, "Oh, hey, wasn't something supposed to happen this week? Oh, our album came out." I mean, come on, if you're not paying much attention to it, then why should we?
Yeah, I feel like Hark did this this week or last week or whatever, where
Hark?
I pre-ordered Hark.
No.
From Wales in England, or not sure. Whoa! Did I just say that?
You did.
Wales from I know.
Wow.
God, United Kingdom, Wales, United Kingdom. They did that where it's like it will be released on this date, and it was like 24 hours later when you could actually download it. And I was like, wow, what the fuck is going on here?
Yep. But anyway, I did listen to a little bit of it, and it was kind of cool. It's sort of a death doom, and if they ever release it, I might consider buying it. This next one is one that I wanted to pre-order because I was so itching to get my hands on it. The debut album from Pelorian, Obsidian Arc, which, for those who don't know, features the singer from Agalloch. And it's a really good album. I mean, for what it is, it's a black metal album. But I enjoyed it quite a bit. So, did anybody else listen to that?
I listened to it today. I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Yeah.
Whoa. Buke getting behind a black metal album. All right.
Wow, look at that.
We'll get him
2017. New Buke.
Yeah. Well, I bet you're going to like the next one then, the Power Trip, Nightmare Logic.
My album of the year so far.
Oh, bold words, my friend. Bold words. I actually I just got a tweet from Greg today saying that an album that I had mentioned, Duel, Dool, on the last episode, was his album of the year so far. So make sure to check that out too. And our last new release, I'm never going to be able to pronounce this. They're a Finnish melodic death metal band called Wolfheart, and their new album, which I will spell for you, Tyhwt, J? Y? Or is that a... Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got it.
Jesus.
Like they just like slam their hand on the keyboard and like done.
Yeah. No idea how to pronounce that, but to be honest, I haven't really much been into melodic death metal lately, and this guy was more black metal before he formed Wolfheart, and so it does have a slight black twinge to it, but it is mostly death metal, but it's quite good. So check that out as well. And now we shall move on to our list. As we have done previously, I put the years 1970 through 2012 in a random year picker, and it spat out a name. I've only had one beer. I don't know what's going on here. It spat out one.
Trevor, do you want to take the lead on this?
It spat out a year,
Jeez.
and that year was our top 5 for this week. And that year was 2003.
Wah, wah.
No.
Which the consensus so far, except for Buke, has been that 2003 was not really that great a year.
Now, I have to say this. I got into metal around 2000. So this is when my gears are starting to turn. The boat is getting up to full speed. At this point, George's boat had run aground a couple of times.
This is true. This is true. This was the period of time where I was confessing to Buke that I think maybe metal might be stagnating.
Yeah.
But now that stated, I did not have trouble coming up with a top 5 list, and I'm very attached to all the records on my list. So while it wasn't a year where I had a hard time, I didn't have to be like, God, I want to put that on the list too. I
wouldn't say it was hard to come up with, but I don't have any honorable mentions. I didn't have anything left over. So
I wonder how many we're all going to have in common too.
Well, I would bet that at least... Actually, Buke and I probably have a very similar list. If not, then he's missing something. But... all right, so we're going to start with Trevor, and then we're going to go to John, and then Will, and then Jay, and then Buke, and then myself. And we will do our number 5, and then go around, and then come back to Trevor again for number 4. So,
Sweet.
Trevor, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is Enslaved's Below the Lights.
Ah, shit, that came out then?
Excellent choice.
Okay, I missed that.
Not my favorite Enslaved album of all time, but I think Queen of Night and a couple of those are just fantastic. It's when they really became much more proggy.
Right on. No, I missed that one.
It's going to be on a lot of lists. It's when Fire Sweat cleaned the earth.
Yep.
I think even more than the previous one, it was when they transitioned into what Enslaved is now. But anyway, we can talk about it when me and John say it.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn. All right. Well, John, what's your number 5?
All right. I actually do have a couple honorable mentions. I'll do them really quick. This is my jumping off point for this band. Buke asked me about it already. It's going to be Dream Theater Train of Thought.
I'll agree with this.
That's got a Panic Attack on it, right?
That was the next album.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I always thought this album, if they made everything...
I Am, right?
Yeah, As I Am. If every song on this album was 7 minutes, it would have been one of their best albums. But
My favorite Dream Theater album.
Make them all 14 minutes long. So anyway,
right.
Jay mentioned this earlier, and I only didn't put this in my top 5 because it's an EP, but it is an outstanding EP. And he knows what I'm going to say. It's John Arch's A Twist of Fate, which is really just... Yes.
Yeah. It's like 2 songs, right?
Yeah, but it's like 27 minutes long.
Yeah.
But it really was the precursor to Arch Matheos. It really is just
the one where the kid's pulling the wagon?
Yep.
Yeah, it's a weird, silly cover. So,
That's a great record.
But it's, next, Catatonia, Viva Emptiness, Pelican, Australasia, and then Gojira's The Link. Those are my honorable mentions. George, if you could cue up the crickets, go ahead and just put about 1,000 of them on for this one. But I love this album. It's a band called Sun Cage. This is their debut album. It's just prog metal on speed, on crack. So That's my 5.
All right. Will.
Are we doing the 2003 albums? I just came back.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
you're
are.
fine.
All right. So what I said earlier in the episode, I had 0.0 time to prepare. 0.0. But I will say, are we just listing all 5?
No. We're gonna go round robin, baby.
So what's your 5?
See, now you're fucked because you got to put
Paradise Lost, self-titled.
All right.
All right. Fair enough.
A lot of people. Okay, people. Pleasant nods. Everybody's like, okay.
Yeah. I'm telling you, this is a horrible year for music, in my opinion, and yeah.
Mine is.
Sorry, not to cut you off, Jay, but I will cut you off. But
Go for
compared to last week, where 1988, or last week, the last episode, 1988, it was like you had to choose between like 40. This is like choose between
6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trevor, did you? What was yours, Trevor? I forgot already.
Enslaved, Below the Lights.
Oh, so how did I forget that? My number 5. If anybody else has it, it'll be Trevor, I think. And but I think there might be some dislike of this band here, but I think this was a great record. Gorgoroth, Twilight of the Idols came out that year. That's a good record.
That's all
On
right.
my list. I'm not a huge fan of theirs.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't think anybody else on the pod is, and that's the last
Fuck
record.
those
I like.
guys. I cannot stand them.
I don't have the hate for King that so many other people do, but yeah, I'm not a huge fan.
Yeah. Well, it's so anyway, but a record I enjoyed quite a lot that year. Moving it on and up. Buke, what do you got?
God, you guys.
So hard for you to choose. I know.
This is so hard.
There's so many to choose from.
Again,
I got Limp Bizkit. I got Marilyn Manson.
I was getting into heavy metal at this point, so my gears were starting to turn, boys. This probably shouldn't have been an honorable mention, but I'm going to put it on here. Hatebreed, The Rise of Brutality, and a power metal band that this album is one of my favorite power metal albums of all time, Lost Horizon, A Flame to the Ground Beneath.
I was wondering if you were going to put that on there.
I absolutely love that album.
Now, is that an honorable mention or your number 5?
That's an honorable mention. And my number 5 is Catatonia, Viva Emptiness.
All right.
Nice.
Nothing wrong with that.
Wait, do we do honorable mentions already?
Yeah, but you can slip yours in.
Well, let me do mine. Just do it next time you're up. So I guess I thought a little bit more of this one than Buke because my number 5 is Lost Horizon, A Flame to the Ground Beneath.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. No.
Oh, the
Guys,
sound
don't
effects
listen
are
to
back.
power metal, George. They would not understand. This band came in. They gave us 2 great albums. They were a flash in the pan, and then they were gone.
Yep. All right. Back to Trevor for number 4.
For number 4, I've got Children of Bodom's Hate Crew Death Roll.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought I had kind of I guess I'd kind of lost interest in Bodom for a bit. And I picked it up. I think I actually picked it up far later than 2003. I was like, oh shit, yeah, this is great. And
Yeah, that's their best one.
Yep.
Wait, Buke, I was expecting like number 4?
I know, I thought that too. I was like, no, that's like...
No, not from Trevor, because Trevor finds stuff past their prime. So
Because Buke will give you crap for having it
But I
number
saw
4.
Children of Bodom on their U.S. debut, too, when they played here in, 97. So I go all the way back. And I remember it was one of the first bands I ever remember seeing live, having never heard of, and holy shit, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice experience. Yeah, I love it when that happens.
amazing.
Yeah. I saw the Hate Crew Death Roll tour, and that was amazing. All right. John.
All right. You know my love for the madman from north of the border. Devin Townsend, Accelerated Evolution.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
I got that one on mine, too.
The song Suicide just speaks of that period of his life. Not that the idea of suicide, just the frenetic playing in that song and just the riff. I love that album. So
Agreed.
Cool.
All right. Will.
All right, so because I didn't do my honorable mentions last time, I have 2 honorable mentions, and they are, I think John said it already, Pelican, Australasia. Love Pelican.
yeah, it's a great album.
And I will probably get disowned by 4/5 of this podcast, but
Must be a kiddie release.
Ah, no. It's even worse than that.
All right.
What I really wanted Will to do there was to be like, well, no, Jen, I don't think you realize Kitty was in a hiatus at this period, and they were, like completely aware of what they were all doing.
Yeah. Kitty was in their litter box.
My other honorable mention is Opeth Damnation.
Oh, no.
Oh, wow. That's just surprising. Okay.
Nice. Good
Why?
for you.
Like, what, did you guys all hate it or something?
No. I think it's perfect. But it's one of those controversial. I mean, it's not a straight up metal album. It almost made my list, but it didn't. Even though I listened to it a lot when it came out.
Yeah. So my real actual number 4 is Iron Maiden, Dance to Death.
Are you serious?
I laughed when I saw that. Although I guess there are a couple songs on there I do like.
There's a couple okay songs.
Yeah.
Do you guys know
It
what
just
was
was such
going
a
on?
fall.
in
Like number
2003?
4, like worst album cover of all time.
Yes, that's for sure.
Will's like, throw me a
Okay,
bone
album
here.
covers don't make music, okay?
No, but
No.
they cover stuff, yeah.
Yeah, the covers
2000 Listen, when you Google like metal albums in 2003, it
You
just
show Willie
laughs at
Nelson
you.
cover. You're like,
Yeah,
what the fuck?
it's like what? There was no album. There was no metal in 2003. It's like it comes up Saint Anger. Like here you go, Saint Anger. Here you go, everybody, Saint Anger.
Fair enough.
You Google metal albums of 1998 or 1988, which we did last time.
The computer explodes.
Yeah. It's like you can't possibly pick a top 5, which is why we all had 50 honorable mentions. This year,
That's what makes this a very interesting exercise to do.
I know,
this
it is.
randomized
And
year thing, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're right, Jay. So fuck all y'all. Like, yeah, it's not the best Iron Maiden album by any stretch of imagination. But in 2003, it's one of the better albums that came out.
Hey, Will, I actually like that album, so I mean, whatever. Passchendaele, come on.
Yeah, that is a good track.
Yeah. I just thought it was such a fall off after Brave New World. I was a little disappointed.
Yeah. Well, what do you
But
got
it's
for number 4,
2000
Jay?
Look, listen. Think of it in 2003. What's the best that came out in 2003? Yeah. Like Marilyn Manson almost made my fucking list, man.
And that's not a very good record.
Sucked.
Yeah. That's not a very good record either.
Nope.
John is just tried to smother himself and commit suicide.
It's an appropriate response.
All right, my number 4. Well, whatever. I'll stop predicting what's going to be on people's lists. I did like this record. It's not my favorite record by Typo Negative, but Life Is Killing Me came out that year.
Did it?
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck was I listening? What was I looking at? I didn't see any of these albums.
We're going to find out George is looking at like 1993.
Oops.
Actually,
There's a lot of good albums.
Oh, man, that was from 2002.
And you know what? That album's good, but
Life Is Killing Me.
life is killing me listening to that.
But I'll say this: that's my Dance of Death for you, Will. It's not my favorite Typo record, but it came out in 2003, and this wasn't an easy list. And mine gets a little more solid from 3 on up.
All right, Buke, number 4.
I'm probably going to be the only one with this on my list. These guys trailed off after a couple albums when they started, but Soil Work, figure number 5. It's okay.
All right.
I'll sit back and drink my coffee. Just a melodic heavy metal band.
Oh, I like that. You just went to your NPR voice. It's a melodic.
Buke may go number 4, but he might not. And I was pretty surprised this even made my list. But Dimmu Borgir, Death Cult Armageddon.
I know. I bet you forgot that.
God!
See, that's not even
Why do I do that? Why do I have you guys as my friends?
Because Buke, this is exactly what's going to happen. You're going to rant and rave like number 4, and then you're like, "Oh, this is my number 3."
No, this was no. You have to admit, this was a groundbreaking album.
When this album came out, Buke lost his mind for it.
This album, bands after that completely changed what they were doing. Completely.
I'm just going to
They
love
start
it.
playing pop music.
No, the whole symphonic black metal gained so much traction after this. Like it or not, this was a huge album.
Yeah, because Emperor didn't have any albums out by that point.
Nor did Cradle of Filth.
Yeah.
Which is that's what, I mean, I think it's a great album too, but I thought it was very Cradle-esque at the time.
Just not as annoying as Danny's vocals, but go ahead.
All right, back to Trevor for number 3.
All right, number 3 is Einherjar's Bloat. I'm assuming I pronounced their name right. I've never spoken.
Einherjar,
yeah. I've been a fan of theirs since the beginning, and that record was just really cool before they went on their long hiatus. There's a song on there called Star Cod that I think is pretty much the cream of their output, and I like everything, so yeah.
Saw them at Death Fest 2 years ago. That was pretty cool.
I'm very jealous. I've not seen them.
Yeah. All right, John, number 3.
All right, it's been mentioned once. It'll be mentioned again. Enslaved Below the Lights.
Hell yeah.
Okay, then.
Yeah, take that.
Can't complain about that.
Take that, TR.
Put that on your.
Where did that come from?
Just because from the what's it, year-end episode or the one episode when we were giving it to TR.
Oh, because I was giving him shit.
We just need to give him shit. At least once per episode.
Yeah. Give him shit. Yeah.
All right, Will, number 3.
Number 3, Cannibal Corpse, Worm Infested.
Oh. I think I listened to that in 2003 and not since. I should probably revisit it.
Yeah. Well, again, it's
Tough.
not by any stretch of imagination my favorite Cannibal Corpse album, but if we're trying to find things that we liked in 2003, it's a stretch. So,
all right, Jay.
All right, what would very much be for me a return to form comeback album after a few shitty albums, and then frankly he went off and made a couple shitty albums after it. King Diamond, Puppet Master.
This is a good album.
Right, it's great, man. It's if you checked out after Conspiracy, you might want to come back and check this one out. Puppet Master was good.
George and I saw King on this tour, and it was actually pretty.
Oh, did
cool.
he do the album, or what did he do?
No, he played a couple songs from it.
Did he? All right.
Yeah.
I was at Jack's.
That was when George and I met the Raven.
Lace me up.
George and I saw this when George and I went to this show. There was like a 375-pound fat man standing in line to get in, and he was talking to somebody, and he introduced himself as Raven.
He's wearing like the long black leather trench coat.
Yeah, and he had a long black trench coat, long black boots, and at some point he leaned over to his girl and said, "Lace me up." And
she got down,
laced up his boots, and Raven was ready to see King Diamond.
Wow.
Will, can I just tell you how proud I am of you right now? Because Duke started talking about a fat guy standing in the line and you did nothing with that. I'm so proud of you, dude. Because usually you jump in and just hammer any number of people on this website.
Yeah, dude.
Was it good for you? No, I'm proud of you.
I wanted
No,
so
don't change it. Don't change it. I like it. I'm just, I like your restraint.
Don't say anything. Let's just keep on going on.
Like your good behavior.
Yep.
All right.
I believe it's Buke, is it not?
It is. Buke,
I
yes.
was just giving Will a chance to breathe.
Yes, it's okay. Just let him catch his breath.
Yeah.
My favorite band from this group, Children of Bodom, Hate Crew, Death Roll.
All right.
Needle 24/7.
Number 3.
One of the best
come on, man.
songs. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Call
it's
it.
number 3 just because the two in front of it are amazing,
All right.
groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Well, get prepared to say number 3 yourself because Opeth Damnation.
Number 3.
What? How is that not an honorable mentioned?
I like that. It just doesn't conform to your rules. It's not about it being number 1. That's like a number 9, dude. What the fuck?
Just be on your list of 100 albums from the year.
It
Yeah.
exists. It's
All
out there
right.
somewhere.
Back to Trevor for number 2.
Number 2, I've got Devin Townsend's Accelerated Evolution.
Yes.
Hey, there you go.
Wow. How much
Yes.
did he pay you, Trevor?
Well, you know what? He didn't pay me, but I will say, back in the day, I've been again into Devin since when when City came out was when I first met him, and like if you ordered from his shop, he sent Christmas cards and all sorts of random shit, which I really thought was cool as far as keeping your fans happy, just that like personal touch. But yes, that record I thought was just really great.
Excellent. John?
Agreed about the personal touch thing. That's nice. Sorry, John.
I
Cue
personally
up the
like
crickets
Metalheads.
again, even though this is kind of a super group in the prog metal world. Band is OSI. Album is called Office of Strategic.
Knew it was going to be on your
Forgot
list.
about that
Influence.
record.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that
And,
album. That was the one there. It was like a pamphlet, like a
Yeah.
folder, like
Yeah,
a
it's
book.
like a passport. Yeah.
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 Yeah,
I knew it
it's-
was going to be on John's list.
Yeah, it's got members of Fates Warning, Dream Theater, Porcupine Tree, and Cynic in the band. So
Man, I totally
come on.
forgot about that.
John,
That's a great one, John.
What does it stand for? What does OSI stand for?
Office
Oh.
of Strategic
Strategic
Influence.
influence. Sorry.
Got it.
Yeah. So, and it's probably their best of the 4 albums they've released, I think. So
Okay.
It was the first one too, wasn't it?
it was the first one, yes.
Yeah.
Which it's loaded with a bunch of Fates Warning riffs that Jim Matheos never used. So
Had nothing else to do with. Yeah.
there it is. Yes.
Okay. Will.
I really struggled to put this album at number 1 just for relevance of this podcast, but my number 2 is Sleep, Dope Smoker.
Good man. It's good. I almost made my list, and it should be on lists. It's a good record.
Yeah, I hate to
It should
blast
be
you,
on
but that
all
was a record that did not live up to my expectations based on the hype.
Well, based on the
Like
legend,
it's great,
too, I would
but
say.
based
Yeah.
on the everything around it, I was like, I expected to be just transported, and it didn't quite live up.
So Trevor, on this podcast, when George queues up to talk about all the albums that he's been listening to, or whatever list that George has, it's like we all can tune out. We put on Dope Smoker, and 45 minutes we come back. So there's a
Refreshed.
relevancy to the podcast for this album.
My number 2 mentioned already. Enslaved Below the Lights. I love it. And I cannot get it on vinyl. I've ordered it twice on Discog.
Oh.
They did have the thing canceled on me for some
Like
reason.
the original pressing.
Yeah, I don't want that back on black one. I want the original one. And every time, I mean, it's probably out there now. It's just I've tried to order it twice. I'm like, hey, I'll do, and both times my order got canceled or they'd sold it. Who fucking knows? So I need to take another swing at it soon. But
Okay. Puke, number 2.
When you talk about American metal and you talk about a band leaving their mark, Lamb of God, As the Palaces Burn,
I knew that was going to be on your list.
Ruin, Blood Junkie, Vigil.
I didn't
This
realize
is- This is what fucking made this band, I think. So
All right.
While we were potting today, I purchased my ticket for Slayer, Behemoth, and Lamb of God. Here in San Francisco. Is that a big tour? Are they coming your way?
yeah,
Yeah, they're coming to
coming to
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Baltimore. That's a neat bill. I like that bill.
All right. My number 2 is King Diamond, the Puppet Master.
Yay, George.
Yay.
Can always count on George. Old, dependable George.
Well, predictable, George.
No, I was afraid I was going to be the only one with that. And it is a record that deserves people's notice. So
I think so. All right, Trevor.
All right.
No pressure. What's
So-
your number 1?
I know, right? I really did kind of struggle with this. And to be fair, a little side note, I thought there were a lot of other good records in 2003 that were non-metal. So
Yeah.
I had to strip my list of all those Backyard Babies, Hannah Rock stuff. But I think my top record for 2003 was Moon Sorrows. Here we go. Kivin Kantaha, assuming that's how it's pronounced.
well, it was convincing.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think it's killer. It's got a lot of long songs, but it really, to me, just kind of like when you put that record on, you feel like you are in a Viking battle in these like snowy hills, and it's just perfect.
Beautiful.
Excellent. John.
Come on, you guys know what this is going to be.
Damnation.
Queensryche, right?
Queensryche Tribe.
Oh, I was like, what record came out that year? Yeah, ouch.
Queensryche shit.
Yeah.
No.
Opeth.
Opeth Damnation.
Yeah.
I don't care that it's not a metal album. I absolutely just ruined every version of this I had. I played it so much.
Yeah, I did too.
And
It is a metal album. Hey, come on. It's metal.
Yeah.
It's just not.
And I did most of that
not
tour that they did when they toured it with Porcupine Tree. So that's not even a question. When, as soon as you said 2003, George, I said I need 4 more albums.
All right. Will.
As much as I shit on this band recently, when this album came out, man, it was good. Lamb of God, As the Palaces Burn. This is a band that brought me, I wouldn't say it brought me back into metal, but it was the whole year 2003, I was gone. I was in Iraq and all this stuff, and all I heard was Saint Anger when I was in Iraq. There was a pilot radio station. Somebody got a hold of the album. They were playing it. I could pick it up on FM radio, driving around in a Land Cruiser in Iraq. And then, but then As the Palaces Burn came out, and I was like, this is good. And it's a great album. And it's that and what's the next one after that? The
Ashes of the Wake?
Ashes of the Wake, yes.
But that surprises me, Will. I mean, didn't Ashes of the Wake, wasn't that kind of hard for you to listen to after?
Yes, that was exactly my point. That is a very hard album to me to listen to, and that's when Lamb of God kind of fell off for me, because that's when there's like, oh, this goes out to the military, but this is where it talks about the military just being a mindless killing machine, bunch of douchebag a-holes.
Yeah, no, that must have been hard on you, dude, especially to hear that you were in Iraq, connected with this record, and came back to Ashes of the Wake.
That's why Lamb of God, to me, to this day, is sort of it's really hard for me. But anyway,
Fair enough.
This is As Palaces Burn is a great album. It is.
Okay. Jay.
Nobody, I think, was this like spiritually attached to this record as me. But I'm telling you, this record still has my number. There's not a minute of music, and I don't like it, even though it's an EP. John Arch, A Twist of Fate.
Yes.
I just fucking love that so much. And it's not out on vinyl, which you can't, it just doesn't even exist on vinyl, which really depresses me.
You can get it, though, Jay, on vinyl. If you buy the Arch Matheos album, there are some versions that are double vinyl that have the two songs on the fourth side.
I'm shopping right now. Thanks, Jay. That is literally like a big gaping hole in my vinyl to me, because I love that record so much. Thanks, dude.
Did you just say big gaping hole?
I did.
It is now.
Buke.
George, you know me well. You would think people, the Opeth fan, you'd think Damnation would be it. But Damnation, while I love the album, maybe it's call it overplayed. Don't know how well it stands up, in my opinion.
All wrong opinions, but go ahead.
Maybe because I've heard these songs so many times. Like if I hear "In My Time of Need" one more time, I could scream. But with that said, Dimmu, Death Cold Armageddon. So,
all right.
God damn it! Can I just say thank you, John? I just ordered that for $25 on Discogs. God,
that's awesome.
I didn't know that existed.
Jay, send me.
Maybe it'll actually show up too. Unlike all the Izon records I bought both Aramita and After the Izon vinyl like a month and a half ago. Neither has shown up.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a Wayward Sog album right now that was mailed 2 weeks ago in theory. I'm starting to wonder about.
Here's my question, guys. Being a non-vinyl guy, so if you order stuff on vinyl, does it sometimes not show up?
No. Not usually.
No, generally speaking, I don't have more vinyl lost than anything else, but these two, for some reason, seem to be cursed.
All right, and so I will say this for you, gentlemen, is that we're actively in the process of looking for a new house, a bigger house. And part of my requisite for a new house is, one, I have a place to do my beer brewing. And two is I want to have a place that I have a record player that's safe.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just received. I ordered a T-shirt recently through eBay. Sisters of Mercy, Floodland, and the package arrived yesterday, and it was a T-shirt for the band Skillet.
Don't even know who that is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that didn't work out. And I come to find, even though eBay says it was,
it was like a girl shirt.
even though eBay says that it's ships from the U.S. The company's actually in Indonesia. So I wrote to them and I'm like, I'm going to see that money again.
Yeah, so it's like, there's so many tees I bought too on eBay, and they say ships from U.S. They don't. They come from like Korea or Indonesia.
So I'm probably going to have to contest that one.
Speaking of super extra small T-shirts, is when I was at the Overkill show with you guys, I did buy a woman's medium T-shirt, and that is what my daughter wore for her nightgown last night.
Nice. Which band? Nile?
Overkill.
Right on.
And she was so excited to come down and show me it in the morning.
Did it on the back? Did it say "We don't care what you say, fuck you"?
No, but that's being 6 years old. That's generally her attitude.
Right on. It's my number one now, right? Yes. Any guesses, Buke?
Crickets.
Children of Bodom.
Children of Bodom, Hate Crew Death Roll.
Nice.
Yep. All right.
Yeah, you and I both loved this album when it came out, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, that's really the only one that had to be on my list because it's a classic that I always go back to.
And, that's why Children, for me, still upsets me because you and I shared a big love for them. And
they haven't been the same since.
Yeah, they have not.
I liked Halo of Blood, but the new one, what's it, I Worship Chaos, nothing stuck.
Yeah.
I think I was most excited to finally get the Cruel Summer cover, but that was about it.
So next we're going to do what we're listening to. And what are you listening to, Trevor?
All right. This is going to be funny, but the record that has been the most played of 2017 for me is Megadeth's Euthanasia. I cannot take it out of my CD. Like, every day I have to listen to it. Addicted to Chaos is like the greatest song ever written as far as
I love that album so much.
I can't stop listening to it. Other things, though, new things. John Garcia's Coyote Who Spoke in Tongues is really cool acoustic take on some like Caius and other stuff he's done. Ouden's self-titled record. They just got signed to Season of Mist. I'm really keen to see their next one. And incidentally, that was the shirt I had on in the Ashton Mila photobomb picture. And then this Mist of Misery Absence album I've really been digging.
Oh, yeah. That's somehow related to the Hyperion guys.
Oh.
Somehow. I don't know if it's friends of theirs or there's like crossover, but okay. John, what are you listening to?
Okay, we mentioned Fen Winter already. Yeah. Still listening to it because we've had it for a while, but I got my official copy finally. I'll butcher these names, but I know George knows what I'm talking about because he's probably going to mention it. It's Arduni and Balich, I guess is the names, which is one of the original guitarists from Fates of Warning. It's their album Dawn of Ages.
And the singer from Argus.
Yes, thank you. The Polarian, which I just listened to today, Obsidian Arc. An album that's from 2015 that I can't stop playing is this Sunset in the 12th House, Mosaic. And a band that got some good laughs from Jay back in 2015. I'll say the name and then I'll say how Jay pronounced it for us. It's the band Archivist Construct. But you may remember, but you guys may remember them as Archivist.
Wait, I think Jay was making fun of Buke's pronunciation.
Of course he was. I know.
Okay,
I'm
okay,
just,
all right,
I'm giving.
Right. But Buke jumped right in on it. What it was I told him if you want to look that up on Spotify, if you need to look for Archivist. And Buke goes, "Yep, that comes right up."
I'm just giving credit where credit is due.
No, perfect.
And by the way, it's actually a pretty good album. I like it. So
Cool.
All right. Any more?
no, I'm done. That's just 5. That's what I do each week now. So.
Okay.
Or each podcast.
All right. So, what am I listening to lately in recent downloads? So we can abbreviate this episode. I just literally, as we were talking here, I downloaded the new Hallowed Catharsis, which is the drummer in the band is a guy named Kevin Ems, who's a brewer up in British Columbia at a brewery. So I love these guys. There's a little avant-garde. This guy I know named John something or other recommended this band Sunless.
Yeah, it's a cool disc.
Ukarsa. But man, I'm really liking that. So,
yeah.
No, it's not Ukiara. No. It's not. The name of the band is Sunless, and it's double R. Whatever fuck it is. But anyway, John recommended it to me, and I'm really digging it. Death Doom. Castrator. Their EP No Victims. It kind of ties into kind of hard to explain. I can't really explain it too much, but it's it's pure death metal from Brooklyn, New York. It's all female, and the name is Castrator. And if you read the lyrics or look at the song titles, it's what the opposite of misogynistic is. And then Day of the Beast, which is like a thrash death band out of DC area. They just had their album release party here. And then Glossum, which I think George talked about last week or their album Grimmin. Pretty stoked on that. And I think I talked about Gorophilia last week.
The opposite of Gorophobia.
Yeah, Gorophilia.
The fear of going inside.
Yeah, I don't want to go outside. And then I got, real quick, I got the Havoc Conformicide. Buke was hammering me over the head over Twitter, or not Twitter, over a text message to get this. And I already wanted to get it, but I got it, and I love it. And then the Goya Harvester of Bong Loads. I don't smoke pot, never did in my life, but Goya is pretty fucking
Is it Goya, like, that makes, like, rice and stuff?
Yeah, exactly. Goya, like the Hispanic food company. Yeah, Goya.
Interesting. They've expanded,
Yeah. Yeah, now they play death metal about pot. Or doom metal about pot.
All right. Jay.
I'll be quick. Trollfest Helva, the new Trollfest is out.
Oh.
It's good. The MP3, not so great, by the way. Kind of, you got to listen to it on FLAC or some other way. So you can listen to the MP3, but I don't know. Just the mixing is kind of bad on the MP3. Everything by Sog I'm listening to. And I'm still listening to that Ordos House of the Dead. That's spinning with me. So that's about my list. And a bunch of other shit mixed in, obviously.
Right on. Puke.
Trying to pull up the band. Now, if you like Viking Death, I cannot recommend this album enough. I've been hooked on it. Yggdrasil.
Oh, Yggdrasil.
Yggdrasil. All shall burn.
Yeah, I mentioned that. That was a Greg one that he sent on.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And I've been listening to trying to relax, de-stress, feel good, go to bed. A little fusion project from members of Between the Berries and Me. Help me out here, John. Who else?
Hagen.
Band called Nova Collective.
And I think there's a member, touring member from Cynic also.
Yes. And this is their album, The Further Side. It's just a fusion. No vocals, just cool jazz, real chill music.
All right.
And, of course, the Havoc I've been listening to a lot. And the latest from King Woman, Created in the Image of Suffering.
Okay.
Pretty awesome.
All right. I am going to try and speed through this. The Arduni and Balich, Dawn of Ages. The new Bereft album, Lands. They're a doom post-black band from Wisconsin. The album's not out yet, but it is good, so check it out. Camel of Doom, Terrestrial, a UK doom band. Carpenter Brute, Trilogy, some more synthwave for you. Here's one for Buke. Celador, Off the Grid, US power metal band. I dig them. It's been like 11 years since their last album. I remember I got the promo from Metal Blade, and they're finally back. This next one, they're playing at the Decibel Fest, Beer and Metal Fest, and I thought they were somebody else, but it turned out they weren't. They're called Cemetery Piss, and their album Order of the Vulture. They're a Baltimore black metal band. And I was like, whoa, this is actually pretty good. Some more synthwave for you. Daniel Deluxe, Desync, Original Soundtrack Volume 1. I should just skip it, but hell, Depeche Mode, new album Spirit. Goes well with Lady Gaga.
Wait, did you just say Depeche Mode has a new album?
Yep.
Yeah, they're on tour, right? They're coming to the Hollywood Bowl here, I know.
Yep. The Evocation album, The Shadow Archetype. I just picked up all the Peter Gabriel Genesis albums and have been trying to listen to those as John does the victory sign.
Transformation has started.
Yes. Just wait. There's more. Also the Hark Machinations album. Thank you. And Will's a big fan of those guys. Lord Vigo, They're a German epic doom band. I picked up both their first EP, Under Carpathian Sun, and their new album, Blackborn Souls.
Is that the bad guy from Ghostbusters?
Yeah, no. I thought it was Viggo Mortensen from Lord of the Rings. The Pelorian album, Obsidian Arc. This, John, get ready to celebrate again. Porcupine Tree, On the Sunday of Life, Signify, and Stupid Dream. As well as the solo album from Richard Barbieri, Planets and Persona, which is pretty much like chill, jazzy, ambient music. Rozamov, Rozamov, This Mortal Road, they're a Boston doom sludge band. Nod to John, Sunless, Uraka, or however the hell you say that.
Whose list is this? Is this yours or mine?
And the new, yet-to-be-released Warbringer album, Woe to the Vanquished, is also pretty cool.
How is that, George?
It's good. I like it.
Okay.
Let's move on to our personal recommendation album.
Personal recommendation.
Trevor.
All right, I'm going totally weird on this one. If anyone remembers this band, I'll be very impressed. They're called Animal Bag. They're from North Carolina. Back in the 90s, they put out a record, a self-titled, had very, very limited success, but they recorded a second album called Image Damage in 95 with Terry Date. It's a really interesting blend of kind of what was going on in the 90s and prog. So it's like almost like if Alice in Chains wrote a prog record, but
John's
it never
head
got
is
released.
Blowing up right now.
Yes, they released it as a promo only, and then the Mercury never actually released the album. So you've got to find it, either download it, or I picked up a promo copy for 25 cents at a used record store. And it is a killer record. It's really sad that it never actually came out, but yeah. So Animal Bag's Image Damage, I highly recommend.
Excellent. All right, John.
All right. I don't know if I've ever mentioned on the pod or to you guys, but I'm not a big stoner rock or metal fan anymore. I was for a while, and it's all the same shit to me now. But there is one band I do like a lot, and it has a connection to Opeth and Arch Enemy, but it's an album that would have been on my top list that we did last year on the top album since 2000, but I got the years and dates wrong on that, so I didn't include it. Nevertheless, the album is Spiritual Beggars Ad Astra. I just can play this from front to end every day if I wanted to. I just absolutely love this album. So if you guys have never heard of these guys, you should check them out because they are killer stoner metal.
Right on. I dig them. All right, Will.
Mine is something I found in the box. I heard of this band before, but not heard any of their music. Ex-Dio, The Immortal Wars. And one of the reasons, aside from being this sort of symphonic tech death band, what I love about this band is the historical aspect of it. And they literally are just sort of chronological, I don't know the correct word right now, but it's all about the ancient Roman Empire. It's almost like there's this old saying, crossing the Rubicon. That's what the Roman emperor did when he came back with his hordes of his I'm not explaining this right, but anyway,
history
blah,
metal.
blah, 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 blah. It's like history metal. I'm not gonna try and explain it right now because it's late and I'm tired, but Ex-Dio, The Immortal Wars, check it out. It's like it's almost like a movie soundtrack.
I can't
in metal,
agree with you enough, Will.
Yeah. It's like a movie soundtrack in metal terms for the time of the ancient Roman Empire. I guess is the best way I can explain it.
Think of Sabaton, but a little more true metal singing about Romans.
I'm there.
Jay.
I'm going to try not to talk about this record for the rest of my life, so I'm just going to say it one more time, and I definitely suggest it for everybody, and it's Sog's last year's release. SAHG is the name of the band, Sog. Memento Mori.
Okay.
Totally stuck on it.
Puke.
I know there's some people who listen to us who'd like it.
Puke.
Yeah, I was going through the CD book that George and I had put together years back. And I was happening to be on Instagram the other day when I knew Trevor was coming on. I was going through some of his old stuff. And Trevor posted a picture of a CD that George turned me on to years ago, and I wanted to highlight it here. The band's Covenant and the album Nexus Polaris.
That's a good one.
Yes, that is a killer record.
This album, I remember when George turned me on to it, I was hooked. It's a late 90s black metal album.
Symphonic,
killer stuff.
Yep.
So check, and this is Covenant with a C, but it was changed to a K
after this album.
After this album.
And on that note, if anyone out there in the world has a copy of In the Times Before Light, the first record, the original pressing on vinyl, hit me up because I really fucking need that. I've got the CD. I do not have it on vinyl, and it is really hard to find for under like $300 or $300, not 300 grand.
300 grand.
Holy shit!
Yeah. I have it on vinyl, but it's not
for like $250. Yeah.
It's not an
So
original.
I had forgotten about this till I found my CD book the other day and Trevor's Instagram. But this album is amazing.
I want to go back and listen to that
gem.
now.
Yep.
All right, mine I picked because I saw they have a new album coming out next month, and I was very excited. This is a band. The album came out in 2014. They're an Italian black and doom band called Shores of Null, and the album is called Quiescence. And to piggyback off of Trevor, it's sort of like Alice in Chains doing black and doom. It's a lot of clean vocals that are vaguely reminiscent of Alice in Chains to me, along with some cool black doom. All right, vinyl purchases. Trevor.
Let's see. Honestly, I've bought all sorts of shit lately, but the things that stood out, besides the Lost Eyes on records that may or may not ever show up, I've been really into picking up, I guess back to my comment about Megadeth's Euthanasia, old Megadeth stuff I didn't have. So I picked up so far the original pressing of the Pick Disc, Holy Wars 12-inch, Mary Jane 12-inch, Wake Up Dead 12-inch, all those old singles that I somehow missed. Only other thing that came to mind was Yngwie's Studio Live 85 maxi that I also did not have on vinyl. So
Sweet. John.
I have no vinyl purchases.
Ah, all right.
So I have a lot of pre-order, but I'll mention them when I actually get them in hand.
Sounds good. I've got a few of those too. All right, Will, what have you bought that is not vinyl?
Yeah, because I have 0.0 vinyl. Hark, Machinations, Power Chip, Nightmare Logic, Ever Circling Words, Wolves of Woe, and How I Learned to Stop Worrying About something or other. It's so long it won't even show up on iTunes. The Ningir?
Nadinger?
Yeah, Nadinger. What'd you call me? The
Nadinger? I don't know.
The High Heat Licks Against Heaven.
Great album.
This is one. So when I was doing the Decibir collaboration brew, Neil from Krieg told me you should go check out Outer Heaven, and they're
From Creed?
Krieg. Not Creed.
from Creed.
Krieg. Like K-R, yeah, like Krieg being war in German. Diabolus Vobiscum. And that's Death Doom. I love it. And that's pretty much it.
Okay. Jay.
I kept it short.
Here's some vinyl I picked up. Dead Can Dance, Garden of Arcane Delights, Ace of Spades by, that band.
Who did that?
Yeah. I just literally wrote Ace of Spades and I'm like, who's Ace? What? I don't know why I didn't have that, but I have it now. I ordered the Ordos House of the Dead record on vinyl. I got that. Showed up recently. I have gotten SOG Memento Mori, SOG 3, Delusions of Grandeur is the one that's floating out there in the void. I don't know if I'm going to get it or not. And then I found a used copy of the Kiss Destroyer Resurrected
Nice.
vinyl, which is really cool and totally worth having. And I've listened to it a bunch since I got it too. So It really did brighten it up, that record. And I like the new, slightly different shade on the cover and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Just different enough. Yeah, the cover was cool. Yeah, agreed.
And there's a nice write-up on the inside from Bob Ezra where he talks about having made it and stuff. So, yeah.
Awesome. Puke.
Sorry, I'm being attacked by a 2-year-old with a stuffed hawk right now. It's a sneak attack.
Oh, it makes hawk sounds.
Yeah, I heard it. That's awesome.
So, went down to visit my parents a couple weeks back. Stopped at an awesome record store. If ever in the Charlotte area, Lunchbox Records. I've mentioned it on the pod before. Picked up Bloodbath, Vakin Carnage, both Power Trip records. Manifest Destiny and Nightmare Logic, the new Ancients, Voice of the Void. Jay's #1, I mentioned it earlier, Witchcraft Nucleus, which on vinyl, Jay was right, sounds amazing. For my friend John, since he highly recommended it, and I had an awesome Craigslist purchase from a nice as can be Vietnam vet. This gentleman was in his 80s. He was moving. This was his prized possession. I bought a nice tape deck from him.
Nice.
So you can listen to that Alchemist.
Yeah, this gentleman, when I bought it from him, he handed me the pristine instruction manual for it. So, this guy kept it in great shape.
Did you buy a box of pencils and pens?
Yeah, that's a good thing to have on hand.
I bought, because I wanted something to play in it. This album is great. I bought the Sunless album on tape.
Nice.
It was $6. You get the tape and the digital copy. And my album of the year last year, because I think it's so cool to have also the Chemist album on cassette. Pretty cool packaging. So that's
right
my
on.
recent purchases.
Hey, Buke, 2 seconds. If you just got the Bloodbath Vakin live set,
yep.
Probably the coolest part about the entire recording is when Ackerfeld says something about, so this is the song Eaten, and it's apparently about this crazy guy who wants to eat. I didn't write these lyrics. I didn't sing these lyrics, but here I go. Like he literally
guy.
This is so messed up. Like I don't even want to have ownership of this because it's not. He's like, but I'm gonna sing it for you. Like
that was Bloodbath when the guy from Hypocrisy,
Peter, yeah,
was singing for them. So
yeah, I just thought it was super funny when.
And that was right before Mike blew out his voice, in my opinion. Yeah. So
yeah. All right, I've only got 2 vinyl purchases. I picked up Merciful Fate's Time, and after Eddie was on last episode, I picked up Nine Inch Nails' Downward Spiral. I also pre-ordered the Fragile, but that hasn't come yet.
I don't think it's been released yet.
No, it hasn't come out yet. All right, last one, Deep Track. What do you got, Trevor?
All right. So I'm sticking with the 90s since that's kind of been a theme for me. And I'm going to go with Anthrax's Poison My Eyes from the Last Action Hero soundtrack. I think it was...
Oh, wow.
It should have been on Sound of White Noise. I think that song is probably the best to come out of that. I love that record,
Trevor,
too.
You were mentioning Megadeth earlier. Not Angry Again?
Angry Again is also amazing, but Poison My Eyes is the highlight of that whole record, of that whole soundtrack.
That was a good soundtrack.
I would say Angry Again, but you're right, Trevor. That's such an amazing soundtrack.
Yep.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. John.
Okay, since we saw Morphus the other night, I dug into the Posse period, which is not a favorite period of Amorphous fans, and it's a song called Greed, which is one of the few death metal songs they did during that period off of the, I'm going to butcher the name, but I think it's Tenella album, 1999, which is actually a very good album, in my opinion. But
I to be honest, I haven't listened to it in a very long time.
Maybe you should.
Yeah, now that I'm all progging out and stuff, I probably should.
No, it's George. The next 2 after that are not very good. I agree, but this one I thought was a good album.
All right, Will. Deep track.
Yeah, I'm totally pulling this out of my ass right now, but
Well, wipe it off first. God.
Well, okay, give me some baby wipes. Off the Twisted Sister, Stay Hungry, which I've talked about recently.
Nice.
It's a heavy album. Do not pay attention to the album artwork, how they looked. Pay attention to the music. The last song on that album, called track number 9, SMF.
Yep.
Man, that is kind of heavy, great song.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's a really good song.
Yeah.
That's the name of their fan club, by the way, the SMFs.
Yep.
Why are you giving me the middle finger while you say that?
Well, I just wanted to tell you about those. Yeah, there you go. Sorry about that, buddy.
I love you too.
I like to sneak one in whenever I can.
All right. Jay?
Off of UFO's No Heavy Petting record, a song called Martian Landscape. Just looks really cool. We're done by a heavier band, even though UFO has its version of heavy. It's kind of a over and over from like Black Sabbath type thing, or maybe Lonely Is the Way. That kind of thing. Anyway, Martian Landscape.
Sweet.
Sweetness.
All right, Buke.
Hey, I am going to say my favorite song of all time. It's a deep track. I don't care, because George and I probably only know it. From our band Sentenced, from their album The Cold White Light. Aka Mota Musta, Everything is Nothing.
God bless you.
No one knows.
I haven't listened to that record in years, but yes.
Yeah, that is.
I'm glad there are
lyrics-
other Sentence fans out there. Yeah.
The lyrics for that song just hits home every time. I absolutely love it. So
Yeah, great stuff. All right, and mine is from the band White Wizard on their album Over the Top, Iron Goddess of Vengeance. Fucking love that song. I always forget about it, and then every couple of years it comes back up, and I'm like, I love this song. So there you go. All right, we're at the end. Trevor, thank you for joining us and sticking around.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah, Trevor, I just want to say one thing. Like I jumped in way at the end. I was not during the interview, but man, like you're the perfect guest. You jump in, you have your opinion, you tell us when we're fucked up. You're one of us. So like, please join us anytime.
I appreciate that.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was a blast. Thanks for having me on again.
well, we'll probably have to have you on in the fall or whenever the album comes out again.
Yeah.
So
when the record's ready, I will be ready to talk the shit out of it. So
he'll be back.
And you guys can all just come down on me for the clean or not clean if I back out vocals.
No, you gotta leave him in there. I think it'll
No
be great.
clean singing.
I mean,
Yeah, they will not like this record.
all right. So again, make sure to check out Ashen Horde on Bandcamp. Pick up some stuff. Give it a listen. Support Trevor. All right, and before we go, we're going to say check us out on SoundCloud, check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Stitcher, and wearemetalheads.com. And if you want to know what we're listening to, look us up on Bandcamp as well.
stick around after the pod for a little post-concert.
Yes, after we leave here, we will be transitioning into the post-mortem of the Overkill show with me, Will, and John. So stick around for that. We'll see you around. Hey, this is George, and I'm here with John and Will. Say hello, guys.
Hello.
Hello, this is Will.
We're doing a post-mortem for the show that we didn't just get out of. Normally we do this right after the show, but things didn't work out that we could do that, so it's a couple days later, so we thought we'd get together and talk a little bit about the Overkill, Nile, Amorphous, and Swallow the Sun show. This was my first time at this theater, the Howard Theater in Washington, D.C. Apparently the other two gentlemen here have been there before.
And I was there once before. I saw Blue Oyster Cult there about 2 years ago, I guess. It was good.
And Will, you said...
I've been there. Yeah, I've been there a bunch of times. I saw, I think it was Creator Accept there. I think it was the first time I went there. Baroness and Paul Bearer played there. Morbid Angel played there. And then, I mean, there's been a bunch of shows there. But it's new to the Howard Theater, which I think it's affiliated with Howard University.
Yeah.
So having metal shows at this, so Howard University is one of the historical black colleges in the United States. And so the theater is associated with that. And I think from what I understand, the theater used to do like a lot of African-American acts and stuff like that. So they remodeled it. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, as evidenced by the person high images of like BB King and James Brown,
Right.
and I thought it was. I'm a big BB King fan, so the door that you go out to get to the bathroom, they actually had one of his Lucille's there. It was signed and everything by BB King, and I was like, oh, I had to take a picture.
Well, and if anyone doesn't know anything about the U Street corridor, I mean, years ago it was a huge jazz and blues area to begin with.
Yeah.
So we have all these old theaters that are finally being renovated. It's kind of nice for us.
Yeah.
So they renovated the Howard Theater a couple years ago, and they started opening it up to all kinds of music, including heavy metal and death metal.
Yeah, I was really impressed with the place. I mean, it's really nice inside compared to any of the other places we go. I mean, even Fillmore, which is a nice place, was not, I would say, as nice, at least, visually.
It was interesting a couple of years ago when they had the Creator Accept show, and there was a couple other bands on the bill, but I think this may have been the first metal show that they had at the Howard Theater, and they were still doing the thing where they had, people almost in black ties, the servers, walking around in trays, and they're literally like almost pushing right through the mosh pit to go hand you your drink you ordered. It was like mosh pits, not table service. It was mosh pit service. It was really, it was kind of like this very surreal, like, do you servers understand? Do you see what's going on around you? Like, this is not a good idea. But they did it. They did it with a smile, and it was like great service. But I think they stopped doing that because you don't see that anymore.
They had table service, I think, during the show, but that was it.
Yeah. So the tables align the side of the venue, but there's been shows where they just put the tables right out. Not metal shows, but
for Boys to Call it, we sat at a table and ate dinner before the show. It was like a dinner theater, and then X number of years later, the death metal show. So just cool.
It was really nice. Everybody there was really nice. They were all like dressed up nice. You could actually tell the people. Whereas like at Fillmore, they're just like dressed in street clothes, and maybe that's somebody that works here, maybe it isn't. I don't know.
So even the security people were super nice. In fact, when I didn't even check my ID, they're like, "Yeah, you can tell you're old." And the first thing I said is, "Oh, the first thing I said is, you're in the military, aren't you?" I said, "Yeah, I'm the Marine Corps." And they're like thanking me for my service, and like,
that's crazy.
We don't need to. I don't even think they even check my ticket.
Yeah, I know. And I was really surprised. I was ready to dig all the stuff out of my pockets. I left the Cougar Bush at home because I wasn't going to have the car handy to put it in. And I was like, there's no way they're going to let me bring this in. And they didn't search us at all. I'm like, in DC, they didn't search us at all.
And what's funny about that? And that's the two experiences I've had there. Super nice. I didn't notice one issue with anyone the whole night. I'll go to a place like the Fillmore where they're like, all right, take everything, include your underwear off. And people are pissed off when they're walking in.
Yeah.
The nice thing I like about the Fillmore is it seems like more of a local only show where I think I knew half the people in that place, or you recognize them. Like everyone's friends. Like it's not like you don't get the mass crowds from all over the place for the big shows you get for the Fillmore. It's more of a local show. So I mean, it's great. I actually really like seeing stuff at shows at the Howard Theater. And what's really nice about it, it's literally right next door to Right Proper, which is a great brew pub in DC. So you can go have a decent beer that's only $6 a pint, and then you go next door and it's suddenly $9 a pint. So it's kind of nice.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and you're in the U Street quarter, so if it's a weekend show, you can get down there early. It's just minus all the douchebag places they put in. There's still a couple good bars down there. So.
Yeah, John and I
9:30 is only 4 blocks away or 3 blocks away. So
John and I got down early and we went into Right Proper and had some dinner and a couple of beers. And I got to say that was pretty nice. It's a cool place.
It's a nice place.
Yeah. And then when we walked out, so I hadn't been like I had come up from the other direction from the metro, and so I like, okay, there's Right Proper. I go in, we eat, we drink, we come out, I walk out the front, I turn right, and I'm in line. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I knew it was nearby. I didn't know it was literally next door.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I was like, all right. But and it's I was like, one of the first things I did when I got home was look at their website to see if there were any other metal shows there. And up through June, there's nothing else coming there that's metal yet.
Yeah, it's only a couple a year.
So, anywho.
Enough about the venue.
Yeah, so cool venue. So the first band scheduled to go on was the one that I most wanted to see, and that was Swallow the Sun. Apparently, John's seen them before. I have not seen them before, and I believe
I've seen them twice before Wednesday night. Some actually, which I did not know, was their first show ever in the States, which was at Jack's. God, going back I think to 2007 or something. And then I saw them again when they toured with Catatonia and Orphanland. I think it was 2011. So
nice.
They're a solid band live. I mean, they put out, considering they only played, 5 or 6 songs.
Yeah, the very first thing I noticed, and I believe somebody else mentioned it as well, was they sounded really tight and really clear. I was like, wow, is this like what a show at the Howard Theater sounds like? Because they just sounded really good.
Yeah, I think I don't know if part of that was because there was hardly anybody there yet.
Could be,
but yeah, I think they sounded the best out of the 4 bands. Like you said, it was very tight. It almost sounded like you're just listening to the album.
Yeah,
the only issue I had was, I think we all talked about it, is that the drums they had for them and Amorphous were right up on top of the front of the stage. You could literally touch the kick if you were standing in front of the drum set. And I think it just kind of got a little muffled. I think, Will, you mentioned that at the end of their set. You said, yeah, it got a little dicey there with the sound, because when he went into his double bass kicks, it just got kind of loud. Whereas the drummer for Nile and for Overkill sounded great, I thought, the whole show. Yeah. I didn't think there was any issues. So I think it's just the drum placement is all it was.
Yeah, there just wasn't room on the stage. They had everything all set up, and so
that stage was packed.
Yeah.
So for those of you listening who've been under a rock for the last, I don't know how many years, Swallow the Sun's a Finnish, almost funeral doom band that came out with a really great album last year. I think it was very high on your list last year, George, right?
It was number 1.
That's what I thought. Yeah. What was the name of the album again?
Songs from the North.
Songs of the North.
1, 2, and 3. A triple album.
Yeah.
Actually, they're kind of a death doom band, but they did funeral doom on the 3rd record of the last album.
Yeah, it's like
I think was. Go ahead.
I was saying the first record was sort of their par for the course. Death doom. The second album was clean. I don't know if it was acoustic, but it was not heavy.
It was semi-acoustic.
Semi-acoustic.
Yeah.
And then the third album was Funeral Doom.
Yeah.
It was a great set.
I thought they were great too, and I was worried because I looked on Setlist FM and I saw somebody only put 2 songs on the first show they did, and I know that that's not accurate all the time, but I got a little nervous thinking, oh crap, they're only going to play like 3 songs, but they played for a good 30 minutes. You guys think 35 minutes?
Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
So,
and I even remember, after seeing them live, that I leaned over, I think, to both of you guys and whispered sweet nothings in your ear about, I really should have gave this album more of a listen last year, because they were great live.
Yep.
They impressed me more live than, and I have the album, just I didn't give enough listens.
Yeah, I had to break it up into, like, I'm listening to the first one today, I'm listening to the second one today, because I mean, sitting through the whole thing is just impossible.
You have to. So tell me, was not the coolest moment of the whole evening the one guitarist for Fall the Sun during that, I think it was the second last song they played, when he wasn't playing his part, he stood there with his arms crossed and just stared out at everyone like, he's like, "Urgh!" But it was just a joke. He wasn't pissed or anything.
Oh, yeah.
It was just being really stern.
Yeah, and then as soon as his part came up, the hair was flying all over again.
Yeah.
I thought that was very funny.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. So then we had Amorphous, and their set started off like an outtake from this year's Grammys. They played for probably like a good third to the half of the first song, Dead Silence. And I don't mean the crowd.
Drums. Sorry, the drums.
Just the drums.
You could hear the drums because the drums are naturally loud, but nothing else was coming through the PA. And they're up there playing, and the singer's like, "Rah!" But you can't hear him. But you can tell he's going to town on the microphone. There's absolutely no sound whatsoever.
And I'm not that familiar with Amorphous like you guys are. And the drum beat that he started off with, I thought the whole thing was a joke. I thought it was supposed to be sort of like this joke, like, oh, you guys think we're, it's the Grammys, let's make this joke and haha, full on you. Because the drum beat in the beginning, it sounded like a total pop song. I was like, what's going on? But then when you saw the other guys, the singer trying to sing, and then you're like, I think there's something really wrong, and they don't know it.
Yeah, because they had their in-ear monitors on, so there was no monitor sound coming off the stage either. And so it took literally till that guy put out his cigarette and put down the chicken sandwich he was eating to turn the volume on.
There's some guy walking around backstage with like this iPad, like, I don't know what's going on, but maybe I should put down my drinks and cigarettes and food and figure it out.
Because everyone looked at him and he goes, oh shit, and all of a sudden the sound came on.
Yeah, the guitar player on the left, he everybody in the audience is like pointing at their ears and shaking their heads and waving their arms, and he saw this and he was kind of like looking around, and then he's like, oh, I don't think there's anything, and he stopped because he was like, I don't think anything's going on. But then everybody else kept playing, so he's like, okay, keep playing. Show must go on. And then eventually it kicked in.
Yeah, I mean, they took it all in stride. I think it was, hey, you know what? It's a talking point. And now we're talking more about Amorphous right now than we would have probably before.
And but somehow Metallica snuck into the conversation.
Yeah, exactly. It's okay. They got a new Urban Outfitters line of clothes.
Yeah,
we can talk about that in the next podcast.
Wait. Who? Metallica?
Yeah.
Are you being serious?
I'm dead serious. Yeah, it's just just continues.
I left it out of the script.
You know what, George? I almost want to bring this topic back up, and I won't because we're going to be short on time because I may not make the podcast tomorrow or Sunday, but Gaga. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, she's pretty hot, isn't she?
Yeah.
Putting words in your mouth.
Yes,
or maybe something else.
Right.
But anyway.
I'll save you here and get it back to Amorphous.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Amorphous fan, so I like the set minus the fuck up with the sound. They gave us another 30 plus minutes, and
yeah, they sounded great. I really loved the lead guitar player. Just watching him play, the guy over on the right side of the stage with long hair, and
it was like kind of the master of the folk metal sound a little bit, you know. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and they were solid too. I thought, you know, so,
very much so.
It was not an odd pairing, but I don't know if you guys noticed this. They were four, not distinctly different, but they were all different bands for the style of metal they were playing. So it kind of made the evening more fun. But it was the Finnish guys for the first two groups, and the American bands were the next two groups, which I thought was kind of funny how it was set up. So
segregation, it's an ugly thing.
Yeah.
But they were good, so I enjoyed them.
Yep. Up to this point, I was like very happy, and not to say that I wasn't happy the whole night, but at this point,
Amorphous doesn't come. They don't come that often to the States, so we got lucky to see them again.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, because I think I'm pretty sure I have some Amorphous records. Were they heavier in the beginning and then got a little bit more progressive in their later years?
Yes.
They've been progressive. Well, yeah, but they've been progressive for a long time.
But I guess more in the vocal style, maybe?
Well, the first like three albums had harsher vocals. 3 or 2, or maybe it's the first 2.
Everything with this current singer all albums have harsh vocals. They just mix clean vocals in with it.
Right.
I guess my question is, are they mixing more clean vocals in? No one starts out with clean vocals and goes to harsh. Everyone starts with harsh and then mixes them with clean.
Well,
go ahead, George. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, after Elegy, the singer that they got, maybe he was the same singer, but after Elegy, it was all clean vocals for like at least 2 or 3 albums.
3 albums.
And so they lost me at that point, and so I was like not listening to them. And then at some point, Buke was like, "Man, the new Amorphous is awesome," and I'm like, "Nah, fuck Amorphous, man. Those guys suck." And he's like, "Nah, listen to it." And I was like, "Oh, hey, they got another singer. Oh, hey, the harsh vocals are back. Sweet." And
they did in 2006. They got the new singer, who's now been their longest singer, and that's Eclipse. It's been a mix of harsh and clean. He does more harsh actually on the albums than he does clean. So
yeah, it's a nice.
They sounded great. I'm just not as familiar with them, so I took the opportunity to go look at merch and go say hi to people and keep an ear and to what was going on. But that's when I went to the Overkill merch booth and saw Robin there, who is the bass player for Gruesome. She was the merch person for Overkill.
That's pretty
wild. Awesome. So I talked to her for a while, and she told me about some unnamed side project, which they have an album out, but you can't identify the fact that she is in the band. It's all female death metal band, and none of the people are actually named.
So you can't name her, or them, rather.
So I can't name the band. I can name that Robin's in the band. I can't now name the band.
So she's in the band.
We'll talk. She's in the band. Anyway. But she's also in Dorchetta too, so I talked to her for a while. It was really cool. And then Blake from Pig Destroyer was there, and a couple other people.
Yeah, you introduced us to was his name Warren, the guy from
Warren,
Black Flag.
Warren is Black Flag Brewing Company, which is up in Columbia, Maryland. And Warren's a diehard metalhead. Comes to the metal nights. We have the brewery and stuff, and so he's the head brewer. Pretty sure he's the head brewer at Black Flag, which you would think is a heavy metal brewery, but it's not that much. Because I was talking to Warren about this for a while, whether he has the ability to name the beers or anything, and I guess he doesn't really. So it sounds like he is a heavy metal brewer. It sounds like a heavy metal name of a brewery, Black Flag, obviously, but
King's X.
Not really. Yeah.
But anyway, it was cool meeting him.
I guess if you go there, you might expect some Flamingo music, even though he's a metalhead. Is that what you're saying, Will?
Yeah. He's like, the owner is not that big into metal, but Warren is, and he's such a great guy. And I've only had a couple of his beers, and it's only the ones he's brought to Atlas, my brewery, and they were great. So if you're in Columbia, Maryland, which is south of Baltimore, north of DC, check out Black Flag Brewing Company.
Definitely. All right. So after Amorphous was Nile. Now, in case you are not aware, Dallas Toller Wade, formerly the lead singer of Nile, recently left the band. And
like very recently.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago at this point.
They announced it recently, whether he left a while ago or not, but yeah.
Yeah. And so for us anyway, this was the first opportunity to see the new singer. And it was a little confusing at first because I knew he was a singer-guitar player, but the guy that was center stage was the bass player.
Right.
And I was like, wait, because he started singing first. I was like, wait, he's the bass player. And then the other guy starts singing, and then Carl starts singing. I'm like, I don't know what the hell's going on. Somebody's the singer.
But I have to say, yeah, so Carl Sanders is kind of like the longtime original member, guitar player, and Niall. And then the bass player is there in the center. So Carl always stands off to the left as you're looking off the stage. And then the new guy, who the guitarist, I don't even say lead singer, but singer, was off to the right. And yeah, you're right. I was totally confused. I was like, wait a minute, why is now the bass player? Because usually that's the spot, unless you're Tool, that's the spot for the lead singer, front center. But I have to say, so it almost seemed like they cut it into like 33.3333% of the time that they were each of the three people in the front, Carl, the bass player, and the new singer, the new guitarist, were taking turns.
Even within the same song, it was just like boom, 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 going down the line.
It was almost like a cappella group, but not quite.
Yeah, with music.
Yeah, So I thought they pulled it off. I don't think they missed a beat. I missed Dallas Toller Wade because he had such a distinct and brutal sound, and the fact that he could play guitar like that and sing at the same time. I almost wanted to initially compare it to Dave Mustaine, but he sings better than Dave Mustaine. He'd be able to shred on the guitar. So Dallas, I was like, what's going to happen? Are they going to be able to pull this off? And they just said, well, we had this phenomenal person in the band who could take most of the vocals and lead guitar and shred on the guitar. Well, we'll just spread it between three people, and I thought they pulled it off. I thought it was great.
Yeah, as I mentioned, the music sounded great. I thought I liked that. And this has always been a problem with Niall for me. Everything is so deep, including the harsh vocals, that it's almost like they're blowing out a speaker when they do the vocals. It's just this low rumble of a vocal, and it translates a lot better on an album. Now, I don't know if I ever saw the band with Dallas singing. I saw them with the Joe guy, the big muscle-bound guy, back in the day. And it was the same way. It was like, yeah, music's all right, but I can take or leave the vocals because it doesn't translate to live for me because it's so deep. And
you know who also does that? And I have to say it's a little disappointing live is Cannibal Corpse. Corpse Grinder Fisher, when he sings live, he does not enunciate nearly as well as he does on the album. So it's just like this barrage of the entire time.
Yeah, when I saw them at I think it was like Mayhem Fest or something, I got that. But when I saw him at Jack's, they sounded really good. He sounded good. So I don't know. Maybe it's just case by case or something. But I know Will really enjoyed it.
I love Niall. They're such a great band. And Carl, I've met Carl when they played at Jack's, whatever, God knows how many, when it was Empire Nova a couple years ago. And he's just like the nicest dude. Like hung out and drank one of my beers and chilled out and talked to me for a little while. So it's always that personal connection that you have with a band that you kind of tend to like the band a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
exactly. That was my first time seeing them, so I've listened to it before. I never really got into them, but it was cool to see them.
Yep. And then after a diva-like long changeover, Overkill finally came on, and they sounded good. They sounded really good. And Blitz, for as long as he's been doing this, the fact that his voice still sounds basically the same after all these years is pretty amazing.
I would second that. He sounded good. I wonder, because I was like up in the front, not quite, like I was on the skirts of the pit, like I was in the front of the pit, like between the pit and the stage, and it didn't sound as good there, and I bet it sounded better if you were standing back further.
Which we were.
Yeah. Your thoughts?
I've only. It's funny because they were a bucket list band for me for a really long time because I just never synced up with them that I was able to see them. And then I don't know, 5 years ago or so, I finally saw them, and I think this was my third time seeing them. And while they always look good and sound good, they never play the songs I want to hear. And I was complaining about it that night, and I think John was telling me, well, they've got like a million frickin' albums, so obviously they're not going to hit all the good stuff. But they played absolutely nothing off of Taking Over, and the only thing from Years of Decay was Elimination. And those are to me, those are their two best albums. To play almost nothing off of either of them, it just kind of breaks my heart a little. I'm like, come on, give me something here. I mean, they played Hello from the Gutter, which was,
right.
You know, it was a single. It was probably well known, but it wasn't one of their best songs.
I really like that song, but I would second what you're saying, George, in a way, being a long time Overkill fan from, I think I started, I think I Under the Influence, the Hello from the Gutter album is when I became a fan. But yeah, I would say the same thing, that they played a couple new songs. They played some more obscure songs. No, and they, they're going to end with Elimination and We Don't Care What You Say, blank you. My daughter's in the room. But I kind of wanted, I'd be happy if they just played Years of Decay, the whole album.
Yeah, I mean, okay, songs they should be playing. Wrecking Crew. Come on, that should be a live standard. That is a pit song right there. We Are the Wrecking Crew. You got to play that. How about some Deny the Cross, maybe, Fear His Name. Pretty much anything off of Taking Over. And Years of Decay, the title track, which I feel like I have seen them play that once.
I don't know. Years of Decay is my favorite album by them by far. I think it's because it's their more doomy album. There's some really great, like, slower doom songs on that.
Yeah.
And
Skull Crusher.
I know it's playing Skull Crusher playing with spiders and the song Years of Decay. But they played Ironbound, a White Devil Armory. So they played some of the newer hits, and then they played some of a couple obscure ones, some stuff from the new album. I mean, it's like when you have a discography that long like they do, you're not going to please everyone. But like you said, I think you hit it right on the head. There's some standards that they should be playing, and they didn't play them. I did walk away. Great performance, but I think the set selection could have been better. Yeah,
there's one song, my absolute favorite song by Overkill is off Years of Decay, and it's called I Hate. And I think that's way better than Elimination, even though I know Elimination was kind of like a single kind of thing, so I understand them playing it, but I Hate was so much better.
Yeah, no, I don't know if I would 100% agree with that, but I love that song, and I would love to hear them play that live again.
Yeah, so...
it doesn't faze me because I get tired of bands playing the same songs every tour I go to. So if I hear you guys saying that they're playing obscure songs and they're mixing their setup, then I would even want to see them more than because of that reason.
I guess part of it is I'm just not as familiar with the songs, and I want to be able to sing along to like every single song when I see one of my heroes play.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. I guess I like that they actually dig into their catalog a little bit.
Oh yeah, they did. I get what you're saying, and I do agree. But I guess I see them so few and far between that part of me just wants just give me some standards.
I mean, they could easily pull off a set of just like a best of set. It would be amazing. And
it's weird. Not weird, but I think in a way, I wish more bands would do something what Iron Maiden's doing.
Yes,
or has been doing, where they just like, you know what, we're gonna go around, we're gonna do a world tour, and we're just gonna play this album. We're gonna repeat the set list that we did 20 years ago for this album, or what they do sometimes, like we're only going to play songs from the first like 3 or 4 albums, and the next time we come around in 2 years, we're only going to play songs from our middle 4 albums, or something like that. I think that would be great. I think that'd be great for a band like Overkill, where obviously most of their hits are the first 3-4 albums.
Yeah,
it's funny you should bring up Iron Maiden, because while I like that they do that, that's one of my beefs with them, is that I'll see them and there's going to be those 5 songs you're going to hear. Iron Maiden's off the table. They have to play that. That's
got to play Iron Maiden. Got to play Trooper.
I'm not going to say it's part of just stick, but the whole thing with Eddie coming out, that's part of the closing of the show. But yeah, after a while, I'm like, okay, I've seen the Trooper so many times. I get it. People like it. But how about Revelations off the album or something?
Mm-hmm.
So that's Maiden does some cool things, but God, sometimes I just, as much as I love Number of the Beast, I'm like, okay, maybe we can retire that for this tour. So
yeah.
And I don't know Overkill as well as you guys, but I've seen them a lot of times at a lot of different shows, and I've always liked them live. I mean, they're a fun band to watch. For a bunch of dudes in their mid to late 50s, they put a lot of energy into the show, and they seem like they're having fun up on stage, and I kind of enjoyed that about them.
Yep.
Yeah, what I always found interesting, and I don't know if he always did this, but Bobby Blitz Ellsworth, the lead singer for Overkill, he does this thing where if he has, like, if there's a drum solo, a guitar solo, whatever, he'll run off the stage. He runs to the back of the stage. I'm like, what are you doing back there? Like, why?
He's doing the Ozzy thing.
Yeah, it's almost like I don't have anything to do. It's like almost like he can't be insecure about it. He's like, I'm just going to stand up here, so I'm going to run to the back of the stage. Or you can do what Chuck Billy does, which is almost weirdly as awkward as he starts playing guitar on his half mic stand.
Yeah,
playing the air guitar. You're like, what?
Well, you know what he might be doing back there when singers do that. I just wonder if they're back there drinking tea or something to. Okay, maybe. If they were doing that, George, then they would be done singing the song before the band was actually done playing the song. But I wonder, because I know a lot of singers that walk off stage because of that reason. They have to give their voice some kind of a break, so they go back to drink something warm for their throats. So
yeah, maybe.
Or maybe they're just Def Leppard and they're getting laid in between the drum solo and coming back out. You know?
Wait, did they used to do that?
Oh, they're notorious for that. They're in their what was it? What was the big album after Pyromania? I can't. Hysteria. Didn't they do some big, huge around, in the center stage thing? And they would pick out girls before the show apparently, and they'd have them underneath the round. And when they would go into the drum and bass solo, everyone else would go down there, and the solo would be like 10 minutes. They'd be down there partying with girls. And I remember, I think it was Rick Savage said, "It's cool and all, but it's not cool, and I'm the dude still standing on stage the whole time playing."
You can tell when they're getting ready to go to the solo because the spandex starts expanding. They're like in anticipation.
There's some footage of them underneath the stage, with girls and stuff, and they're just standing there all drinking, and girls are like, "Oh, look at my titties" and stuff like that from some video. But like, man, every night.
Yeah, it's a rough job. Somebody's got to do it.
Guys got into rock and roll and metal. I mean, that's Motley Crue's like, yeah, we did this for the drugs and the girls. I mean, why else would we do this?
Yeah, now look at them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just saying.
Yeah. All right. Well, any other comments on the show before we go?
I had a great time. Good to see you guys. Always
good.
Always get to a show where we at least have some representation of the podcast. We had 3/5. We were good. If you couldn't make it, he was working. Jay obviously lives 3,000 miles away, so he's not going to make it. But it's always good when we can get a couple of us together.
Yes.
Yeah. I just would really hope that my knee wouldn't keep being a problem at shows, because I have to kind of hang out in back, because I knew a pit was going to break out, and it did. It got kind of wild there now there for a little bit. They had that whole circle pit going, which was kind of funny. So
yeah.
But if the knee was better, I'd be a little closer.
What's next for us as far as?
I think Decibel is the next show that we'll be at together. Oh well.
Yeah,
although you guys have one before
Thursday.
that, right?
I'm going to Catatonia on Thursday, so which I don't know why, because I've seen them a million times, and I'm going to be complaining about the show, even though I like them. But,
is the Opeth?
The opener's Caspian is one of the openers.
No, I was going to say, is the Opeth, Gojira, all that, is that before Decibel?
No, that's after 2 weeks after.
Okay.
In May.
Yeah, so Philly has 3 things lining up. That's great. You have, so the week of it's Easter weekend. You have the Decibel Tour, which is Creator Obituary, and they have Blood Feast is on that. So they have different openers, local openers for each stop of the show, and the Philadelphia one is Blood Feast. So I'm going up to Philadelphia for that show. Because I do not want to miss Creator and Obituary together, and I think I'm trying to get a press pass for that one from the good folks at Decibel. And then the weekend after that is Decibel Metal Beer Fest, which we're all going to. I'll be pouring beer. We're making Atlas Brewworks, my brewery, is making a beer for it called Hail Satan Worship Doom, a black saison. And I just did the Decibel collaboration beer, where guys from Decibel, myself from Atlas, and a couple people from obviously it was brewed at Champion down in Charlottesville, Champion Brewing Company. Great dudes. Went down there, brewed that beer. We're going to have that there. And then the next weekend is that, weekend after that is the Gojira Mastodon show, right?
It's, Mastodon, Opeth, Gojira, Russian Circles, Eagles of Death Metal. I don't know why they're on the tour, but I guess they're touring with Mastodon. So, and another band I can't remember off the top of my head.
Gaga or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wherever alley she's in, I don't know.
Yeah. So there's some really great kind of mini, I don't know, almost mini festivals coming up to Philly. I can't do all 3, so pick my poison.
You gonna go to any of the Death Fest dates with us? We're just going Thursday and Sunday.
I have no idea. I'll be going right before that. I will be going to Disney World with the kids. So
yay.
I'll be home in time for it. I just don't.
So you'll be doing the family Death Fest then down in Orlando.
Yes, I will.
Where you're going to be like
by Mickey Mouse.
You're going to have both your kids under each arm, and you're like, I'm going to kill these people around us.
Well, at least there's like Star Wars stuff there. I was there last year.
Yeah. Oh, we're staying at the Disney resort where the toddler was eaten by an alligator.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Don't go in the water.
Yeah. That was when I was there. That was the horrible time. That was the toddler with the alligator, the nightclub shooting, and the voice contestant shooting while I was there.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think I want to go to Orlando again.
Yeah, watch out for those orange alligators too. They're roaming around apparently too.
I don't know if I'm going to be. Death Fest is to be determined.
Okay. All right. Well, Thanks for coming together to talk about this. We'll tack this on the end of an episode. So if you're listening to this, you've probably already listened to that episode. And we are going to say goodbye now and end this episode, as well as the episode that this is a part of. Yeah. Try and wrap your brain around that one.
Yeah. It's like a time warp.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you later.
See ya. Cheers.
So you thought the episode was over? Think again. This is the super secret part of the episode. And after we recorded the last episode here, John went to go see Catatonia. And so he's going to give us a postmortem of that as well. And I hand the ball to you, John.
Yeah, Catatonia started their latest, North American tour. I guess they're playing in Canada. I haven't checked the dates. And they are, yes. So it's a North American tour. And they kicked off their tour in Washington, D.C. at the 930 Club. And that was last night. So I went. I represented 1/5 of Metalheads podcast. And it was a good evening. If you're not familiar with the 930 Club, for those of us who live in D.C., I'm sure we may have mentioned it before in the past, is a great place to see a show. The only problem with the place now is it's an indie club. So
it's kind of unusual to see Catatonia there, but at the same time not, because they're not really all that metal.
Yeah, maybe not anymore. You're right. And that's something I was going to bring up about them, because they are a metal band that's not, I wouldn't call them that they're not metal. They don't sound metallic anymore, even though they play like a metal band at times. But anyway, they started their tour last night in DC, and they had two openers, Caspian and Uncured. And I'll say right now, I got their Daring Uncured set. I don't know anything about them. I guess they're a young progressive metal band. They looked young when I saw them walking around. And so I don't have anything to report on them. It wasn't anything personal. I decided not to go up to DC early. I just got there during their set. So real quick, Caspian was the second band. I have never seen them. I have a lot of their music. I don't really know much about them, though. You've heard us mention my friend TR on here before. He's a big Caspian fan. He loves them.
Yeah.
He's been trying to get me to go see them for years and to listen to all their stuff. And I finally got to see them. And they came out and played for about 35, 40 minutes. And it was a great set. I enjoyed it, actually. And they were extremely heavier than I remember them being. I don't know if they were playing to the crowd.
Maybe kind of like Opeth, where, the album's maybe not so heavy, but it's definitely heavier live.
Yeah. And I went back and listened just a little bit today to some of their stuff, because there was a song I wanted to find. And I confirmed that the song that I don't know the title off the top of my head, that it was not as heavy on the album as it was live. So that was kind of cool. And they were really into it, and they were bouncing around. I don't know if you're not a post-rock fan, you maybe don't know the scene. It's a little different. I mean, bands will come out, they play, they don't really say much, and they just walk off stage. And it's like, oh, there's an hour, and they didn't even say hello. But they did talk a little. I guess it was their first time at the 930 Club, so they were pretty jazzed about it, even though they've been to DC a bunch. And then Catatonia came on, and they came on around 10. Place was about half full, and the stage was pushed forward. So what they do at the 930 is, if it's going to be a packed show, let's say like Clutch, they're a good example because they play there all the time, it seems like. If they push the stage all the way back, they maximize the size of the venue, and they'll play a couple shows there, and they'll get a decent amount of people for the shows they play. But a band like Catatonia, who doesn't tour as much in the States, not as big, they push the stage forward to make the place look full,
How do they do that? Is that like the barrier moves, or?
Yeah, the actual whole stage moves.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not know
that. Yeah, I didn't either. So apparently the maximum amount is 1,300, and then when they push it close, I think they can max out around 800, I guess. I don't know.
That's weird.
Yeah. So, and excuse me, and where I was standing last night, you could see back behind the stage, and it had a lot more room than they normally have. So, but it was cool. So they played for about an hour and a half, played 19 songs.
Wow.
So it's a big tour for them. Performance-wise, they were great. I enjoyed it. I've seen Catatonia a lot of times, and they don't really mix it up much with their sets. They play the same old songs every tour, it seems like.
So is it kind of a letdown in that sense?
Yeah, a little bit. They have a collection of about maybe 15 songs that they've played every tour I've seen since 2007. And they may not play all 15, but they'll mix those up. And then they play some of the new stuff. And they didn't disappoint in doing that again. However, I actually enjoyed it more this time than normal. And you guys have heard me say in the podcast, I'm a little down on them the last few albums, because it sounds the same every album to me now. The new one is kind of growing on me a little bit. It's a little heavier. I think it's the best of the last three, but still, it's what you get with Catatonia when you see it.
Definitely.
So, but for opening night, they sounded great. They admitted that they might have some tour, jitters or nervousness because it's the first night, but I thought they were in good form. One thing I did notice is they've taken the metal guitar out of their sound a little bit, and it's more kind of layered with all the keyboards that they pipe in because they don't have a keyboardist. So they have a lot of patches coming through. So the guitars aren't as metallic anymore. They're kind of layered, and they kind of lend their sound to the synths and the keyboards that are being used, as opposed to the early years, I think, where they were more guitar driven.
Anders.
He's doing a lot. He's still playing the same way, but he's doing a lot more, I think, with his sound. It was more bass and drum driven this time. The bassists seem to have a very dominant role in the sound, which was fine. I mean, I get what they're doing. They're not as the same band they were back on Viva Emptiness or the The Great Cold Distance. That was called, losing track in my mind here. It was I didn't get much sleep because I got home late and then got up and made it to work for 6 a.m.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Yeah, all I had to do was travel, 10 feet to my workspace, but yeah. So in terms of the set list, what they played, they didn't go too deep. I mean, they went back to let's see, Last Fair Deal Gone Down was the furthest back they went, which is still 16 years ago.
Yeah,
but
that's one of my favorite albums.
Yeah, excuse me, definitely one of my favorite from them. And that whole period, for the most part, from Tonight's Decision to Great Cold Distance, is the stuff that I like the most by them. And obviously Brave Murder Day. I mean,
yes,
who doesn't like Brave Murder Day? It's a Cavatoni fan.
Yeah, I mean, that's Michael singing on that, though, right?
Yes, Mike is singing on that one. Yeah. Although Jonas does do a couple songs once in a while from the album. They do Brave and they'll do Murder once in a while. So
okay, that's interesting.
So did you want to? Were you going to say something there?
No, I was just wondering, like, were there any highlights or anything like that? Any songs that you were like they thought they did particularly well?
I'm going to go ahead and say yes and no. I think the new songs obviously would be the highlights because I haven't heard them yet, but they don't really stand out too much to me. I don't know how you feel about the last few albums. Nothing really stands out per se. But I was glad to hear them. And so those would be the ones that stood out because I think they played 6 songs off the new album.
Wow.
And surprisingly, they did not play the one song that I think they debuted or they released early. What is it called? Give me a second here. For you. That's Serac, that song, which everyone seemed to get pretty excited about because it kind of was a heavier song for them for the last X number of albums. They didn't even play that.
Interesting.
So yeah, but some of the old songs I've heard them before. So yeah, great, cool. But I'm guessing that for people who don't get to see them as much as I have, and they don't tour as much, would be pretty excited.
How was the crowd? Was it? I mean, the music's not exactly mosh pit kind of music. So is it just like everybody standing around going hands in the pocket? That's cool. Like me.
No, there were people who were jumping around and going crazy.
Yeah.
They have the kind of music where you get pumped up for the intro, like and then they go into that real kind of ambient, laid back, like Jonas is like, man, my life sucks. I'm gonna sing some depressing lyrics, and the rest of the band just kind of strums along, and then it kicks in, and it's like, yeah, fuck yeah, kind of thing.
Man, I was listening to Anders' Diabolical Masquerade at the gym the other day. Oh, and this is where Will would be like, the gym? Yeah. Fuck you, buddy.
Never heard that one before.
Yeah, but I was listening to that at the gym, and man, I really wish, keep doing Catatonia. That's great. I understand that's your money and all, but come on, give us a new Diabolical album.
Yeah, it would. I would like to see him. I would rather see him spread himself a little thin and try to hit all his projects because I think he does some interesting things when he ventures out, which is what he's really doing with Catatonia. It's really doing all the venturing there, it seems like. Even if it's not what I prefer, I do appreciate that he is trying to do different stuff. His guitar tone was completely different this tour than it has been in the past. Maybe I just was paying attention more for once, it seems like. But back to the crowd real quick. Yeah, it seemed like people were enjoying it. It was a lot of headbanging, but it was, like you said, there were a lot of moments where nothing was happening, and then there were a lot of moments where things did happen. So I think it's just because the music lends itself that way.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not really mosh pit kind of music, I would think, but
no. And it's funny because for whatever reasons, we've brought this up before, bands like Metallica and we've brought up Opeth get just absolutely destroyed for doing something different. A band like Catatonia does it, and everyone loves it. They think it's great. Oh, they're awesome, man. Like, oh, okay.
If you're starting at the less heavy end, you've only got up to go.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you're heavy, you definitely cannot go anywhere from there except heavier, which nobody does.
Right. I will say this. What was interesting that I noticed that the first time I saw it was in 2007. I think they opened for Moonspell, and they had never really come to the States that much, if anything, like a full tour.
Yeah.
While they're still not, the super charismatic band on stage, they are so much further than they used to be. I mean, Jonas does talk to the crowd now a lot more than he ever has. And that's good. I'm glad to see that. I know he's a little more reserved on how he presents himself up there. Minus he still does his little bit of headbanging and stuff during songs. But it was nice to see him engaging the crowd and talking, and they couldn't have been any more appreciative. So that was kind of cool. I enjoyed that about them.
Yeah, I don't think he talked very much. The only time I've seen him was on the Opeth tour, the Heritage tour.
Right.
And that was cool.
Yeah, I don't think he doesn't say too much. So I think he embraces the role, I think, more now as a front man than he probably ever has. So, but they've got a really long tour. I was surprised as a headline, going from March 16th through April 21st.
And they're playing at Wacken too, so I'll see them there.
Oh, cool. Yeah, hopefully you'll get some, European portion of the tour. They'll probably change things up a little bit, so. But interestingly enough, the songs that I've heard now 10, 12 times live, which seems kind of nuts, but yes, it's actually happened that many times. And that's all the shows I've been to. It's like, damn it, my twin again. People were screaming for those songs though, which was kind of cool too. It's not Opeth-like at the shows yet where people scream, but there were people.
Black Rose Immortal!
Yeah, exactly. Not happening. Although I did get 10 seconds and I was like in heaven. Like, oh my God, he played 2 notes from it.
That's what Puke always screams.
I don't know if you remember this, just real quick sidebar. I don't know if you remember when the album Snakes and Arrows was going to come out for Rush, and they put out like a 10-second teaser from the opening song Far Cry, and there was a note that Alex Lifeson hit on his guitar that was the fade out note for the teaser, and it was exactly the same notes he's used to tone everything from Hemispheres. I couldn't tell you how many posts I saw on different sites, blogs or whatever, or forums. Oh my God, they've gone back to their late 70s sound. This is amazing. It was just a tease. And then you got to play the album, and it was just a tease on the album.
That's harsh.
I thought was kind of funny. So, but nonetheless. But yes, also one thing that was cool, we got 2 new songs last night they've never played before. That they debuted on the U.S. or North American tour. I keep saying U.S. tour. 2 songs off the new album, Residual and Passer, they played. Hopefully I didn't ruin it for anybody who's going to see them.
Spoilers!
Yeah. Well, guess what? I saw it first. So,
yeah.
That's about it. That was good. It was kind of nice to see them in a bigger size venue too. So good for them. Hope they have a good tour.
A bigger size venue that was actually smaller for the occasion.
Well, still bigger than what they normally. I mean, every time I've seen them, I have my set list FM here, so I can go back and check all the times I've seen them, which they've mysteriously crept way up on my list for bands, the amount of times I've gone to see them. And they've always played places like Jack's, or if they're going to play a big venue, they're opening for somebody else.
Yep.
So, and they seem to open for somebody else all the time.
Yeah.
Well, namely Opeth. It seems like. Who else did they open with? Didn't they do open for Paradise Lost once, I think? And Devin Townsend?
That sounds familiar.
I could have sworn they did at some point. There was a huge tour, like 4 bands were on tour togetger.
I feel like that got canceled though.
No, because I saw those 3. I could have sworn I saw those bands together a couple times.
I mean, Paradise Lost and Catatonia sounds familiar, and I remember there was a Paradise Lost show that I had tickets for, and it was canceled, and it might have been that, but I don't know.
Yeah, here it is. This was the tour. It was Devin Townsend, Catatonia, Paradise Lost, and Stolen Babies, which I was totally psyched to see Stolen Babies.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Devin was headliner.
He was the headline. Well, I think it was a split tour between Devin Townsend and Catatonia. So they were the 2 kind of headlines. I don't know if they switched off on various nights on who closed, but I think they shared the bill. So I think they had the same amount of time each night.
I'm going to go off on a tangent here. I saw an article from Devin. I don't even know when it was posted, but I came across it. And have you seen the photo? All I should have to say is the photo.
Well, it depends on which photo you're talking about, because I know that there's
the Devin photo from when he was with Steve Vai.
There's a shitstorm going around right now.
the photo about, and maybe this is like only coming to light now, and maybe there's new news, but I saw this photo from when he was at Jay Leno.
So you actually did see it, because I heard that it got pulled, so it's out there.
The butt phone photo. I saw this. It was disturbing.
So now it makes me really want to buy his book, his autobiography.
I've been trying to get it, and you can't get it. It's not available for digital. It's only hard copy, and it's sold out on Amazon.
Oh, man, maybe I have to check his website. One of us will have to do it and just let the other know.
Yeah.
Yes, I've heard about this, and in the process of hearing about that, I watched the video when he was on Jay Leno, and man, he looks like a baby. He looks so young, because he's only 19 in that video. And you have to read the whole thing, because because he actually shaved his head and his eyebrows for that show, and he wrote all kinds of crap on his arms, and apparently he went to Walmart and bought the cheapest clothes possible, and he was, that crazy madman that he became there in his early years before he did an about face in life. So, because I don't think he's still crazy and wacky, but I don't think he's anything remotely close to that in what he thinks anymore. But yes, I've heard about the Jay Leno phone photo.
Yeah, it's like it's a photo from behind, and he's like leaning up on a couch or something, buck naked. Okay, but you only see him from behind, and the phone is essentially clenched between his butt cheeks, like the phone, the mouth and earpiece part. It's clenched between his butt cheeks, and he's sort of like looking down back at you, like underneath his armpit, like, look at that.
So, just real quick to finish this off, the best part of this whole story, I don't know if you how much of it you read, was he does this, then he goes out and does I don't know when I can't remember the sequence if it happened before or after the performance, and he thinks that's it's done, and apparently gets a call. Yep. Like the next day, like, what the fuck were you thinking? He goes, what are you talking about? He said, you shoved a phone up your ass?
Yeah, they had cameras in there.
He said, there's cameras all over the place. You're all over the cameras.
Talk about like cold sweat embarrassment of like, oh shit.
That's when you're a 19-year-old, you're like, oh man, how did I screw this up? And you don't realize until you're 40, you're like, man, I was stupid back then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty
so
funny.
that story may piss some people off, but I think if you're a Devin Townsend disciple or fan, you can see the black humor in it, where it comes from. So
it's not out of character.
No, not for at least back then.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Yeah. Anyway, back to Catatonia. Any other comments on the show?
No, I mean, if you like them, I would suggest seeing them, especially if you haven't seen them that much or haven't seen them before. I think you'll enjoy the show. They hour and a half, 19 songs we got. I think it's worth the time. Definitely worth the money considering. And I thought Caspian was pretty good too. And again, I didn't know much about Uncured, so I can't say much about them. I don't want to say anything good or bad because that wouldn't be fair either way. So
yeah, never. I haven't even heard of them.
No, they have I think they have an EP out, and they have their debut coming out this year. So I mean, they're young and they're fresh on the scene completely. So
okay.
So yeah, interesting night. A lot of atmospherics. That was pretty much the call for the evening with them and Caspian.
All right, I guess we'll call it a night and end this episode for real.
Yeah, unless somebody has another show to go to.
Yeah, well, yeah, unless there's another recording after this, but I don't think so. So in that case, let's go to Jay and his amazing outro. All right.
Cool. Awesome.
Seriously, George, just turn it off. Turn it off. That's the end of the show. People aren't even listening. They are listening, apparently. Seriously. Fuck you. Good night.